Good afternoon from the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. Fortunately, we have a roof on the place because it's pouring rain in the Detroit area as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are set to go against the Detroit Lions. Hello, everyone. I'm Don Crickey with the former New York Jet All-Pro Emerson Boozer. The Detroit Lions are under a lot of pressure here. They're 4-5 through 9 games, and yet, Emerson, they have a shot at the playoffs when you look at the standings.
As they say around the league, Don, they can get through the back door. Matter of fact, back in, provided the Vikings lose to Chicago. Chicago and Detroit, identical records, 4-5. They'll stay on the heels of the Minnesota Vikings.
And, of course, the Vikings with problems now that Fran Tarkenton is out. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as everyone knows, have not won a game yet in the NFL, but it's an established fact that no one wants to play this team, and one of the big reasons is number 63, Leroy Selman, who's all-pro quality.
Leroy is almost a man-eater, we might say. He destroys just about everybody that he plays against, possibly the best defensive lineman or overall player at Tampa Bay.
And, of course, Leroy's brother Dewey is no slouch either. He backs the line in the middle, and number 61's a guy that'll hit you hard.
Dewey is the kind of linebacker that I didn't like to play against. He's a big fella at 6'1", 6'2", 250 pounds.
It's big enough. Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the opening thing of the day. They got the toss, and they'll be receiving to start the game. So let's go down to the playing field now as they line up for the opening kickoff. The Buccaneers going against the Detroit Lions. The Lions are coming off a defeat last week at Atlanta. Had they won that game, they, of course, would have come into today's game with a 5-4 record and be just a game behind Minnesota. There are the Buccaneers getting set to receive the ball. Isaac Haggins, number 81. One of their return men comes in. And the Detroit Lions in their home uniforms, silver and the lion blue. Now, Greg Landry, the regular starting quarterback for Detroit, is out. He was injured last week. He's not even in football suit today, and this is the guy who'll start, a quarterback out of Mississippi State, Joe Reed. He gets the starting call. The Lions have some injury problems. Their brilliant tight end, Charlie Sanders, has a knee problem. He is in uniform, probably will play, but it is questionable just how long he can go. And now with the ball teed up and ready to start the game for the Detroit Lions is Mickemeyer, Steve Mickemeyer, who will kick it off. Back deep for Tampa Bay, we have Isaac Haggins and Anthony Davis. Ball is well hit. Haggins 3 yards deep, and Anthony Davis is, let's take the 20, we get free. Down the ball, and that's what they do. And so the Buccaneers are ready to go 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. Emerson?
Tampa Bay, they have a good offensive unit if they can get into the end zone. Last week they moved the ball well. Taking a look at Tampa Bay's offensive lineup, number 75, D. Reeves, 62, Jay Winans, and 51, D. Reitzik, and D. Medlin, right tackle, number 70, Carlton.
Jeb Blunt is the quarterback for Tampa Bay. The series of injuries to their quarterbacks now have blunted. He's out of Tulsa, originally a draft choice of Oakland. Anthony Davis looks for room and works his way ahead for a couple of yards. The initial hit was made in the front by Detroit's Doug English. And then Anthony Davis came off it and was finally knocked down by Charlie West. There are the wide receivers, Isaac Haggins, Morris Owens. The tight end is Dana Nafziger, who Coach John McKay said before the game to us, Emerson, is going to be a great linebackers today. They want to move him when they get another tight end in.
He says he's a great hitter, probably the best hitter on the ball club, and that's kind of hard to believe when you think about the linebackers he has.
It is now 2nd down and 8 for Tampa Bay. Here is Ricky Bell, the number 1 draft choice in the NFL, as he fights ahead and gets out to the 28-yard line. And James Hunter, the left side cornerback, brings him down for Detroit. Looking at the Lions defensively, John Woodcock is one of the defensive ends. Jim to the other. Herb Orvis and Doug English are the tackles. English is probably Detroit's best defensive player. Newmoff, O'Neill, and Weaver, 3 good linebackers in there for the Lions. Veteran Lem Barney and second-year man James Hunter at the corners. Charles West and Dick Duran are the deep backs for Detroit. It is 3rd and less than 2 for Tampa Bay. Somebody left early for Detroit. We'll see if he was drawn offside.
It was Jeff Winans, I think, Don, at this point. He had not gone to a 3-point stance, but he was not still as he should be. He was moving back and forward if he wanted to pull out of the line.
Yeah, it looks like Winans, the right tackle.
False start, 62, offense, 3rd down.
Boy, those are the things that kill you, aren't they, Emerson? When you got a 3rd and less than 2, and now it's 3rd and a 7-yard,
That's
8
the
yards.
kind of thing you don't want to do, Don. Anything to hurt your ball club.
Jed Blount hands off. Here's Ricky Bell looking to turn up on Ed O'Neill. O'Neill forces him to the outside, knocks him out of bounds, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have to punt the ball to Detroit. So as the Buccaneers came out moving the ball somewhat, the penalty sets them back on third down. Ricky Bell can't get there going wide. As we had Ed O'Neill, a very fine linebacker out of Penn State now in his 4th year, keying on Ricky Bell, and you saw him knock him out of bounds. So the punter is on the field, Dave Green for Tampa Bay. And back deep now is Eddie Payton for the Detroit Lions. He is a brother, rather notable, Walter Payton of the Chicago Bears.
Walter right now is leading all rushers of the NFL, and it's kind of sad that O.J. is not playing because last year they went down to the wire dueling each other for the rushing title.
Big rush. Very nearly blocked. Here's a penalty marker down. Tampa Bay is going to get a first down on roughing the kicker. The Lions went for the block punt. In there very quickly was Walt Williams, a rookie out of New Mexico State. He almost got the ball. Had he gotten it, you can do anything you want to the punter, but he did not. So consequently, the penalty marker went down, and the Tampa Bay offense comes back out. I think they're going to be tough today.
If we're counting who gets the breaks, right now Tampa Bay has gotten the first break as Walt Williams comes in, not with an intelligent angle, comes in and makes an attempt to block, but hit the kick and you can't do it.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience.
Kicker, 21, defense, first down.
Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Detroit Lions and the National Football League is prohibited. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stay alive on offense. Coming out wide to the right for Tampa Bay. Morris Owens. Wide to the left is Isaac Haggins. The pitch back to Ricky Bell. A deep back, and he is knocked down, and penalty markers are also down on the play. As again, we could have motion in the Tampa Bay offense. Emerson?
There again, Tampa Bay getting off to a slow start. The first, second down, a very important down, especially if you're running the football as Tampa Bay is open up with. You don't want to do anything to cause your club to lose yardage, Don.
The offsetting penalties. Ricky Bell, there are his numbers. He's had some injury problems. He, of course, was the great back out of Southern California, recruited there by John McKay, the #1 player selected in the last NFL draft. And the way things are developing, Tampa Bay is going to have the #1 selection for a 3rd straight year this season. Offsetting penalties, we're told. And there's a lot of talk about Tampa Bay. Well, there's a lot of good football players around, but they might go for a tight end out of Notre Dame, Ken McAfee, a big 255-pounder.
Right now, they do need a tight end. They don't have a good one that's healthy. And I think they also need a quarterback rather than bank on Barilla coming back and Gary Huff getting back to top form.
So the Buccaneers will try it over now. It is 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay, just inside their 30. No score in the first quarter. Jed Blount, a blitz against him. He's got to hurry. He eludes it. The rush is still on. He gets it away, and Ricky Bell almost got the ball. Beautifully thrown by Jed Blount. Ed O'Neill was coming on a blitz. The middle linebacker, so was Newmoff. He was swinging out to cover, and there is Ricky Bell, who had a hand on the ball and very nearly took it down. Then it was almost intercepted on the way off his hands.
Give Jed Blount a lot of credit because he threw the ball with a lot of pressure on his back. He threw it across the front of his body as we take another look at it. Very difficult pass to throw as he moves out to the left of your screen with one of the Lions in hot pursuit. Now he has to throw across the body here, which is a very difficult pass to throw. He gets it off. I thought the ball should have been caught.
That brings up 2nd down and 10 now for Tampa Bay. Buccaneers just inside their 30. They sustain the drive on a penalty, roughing the kicker. There's no score in the first quarter. Again, a penalty marker goes down as Ricky Bell, trying to come back to the weak side on a counter, is chopped down at the 30. Paul Newmoff, the veteran linebacker from Tennessee, now in his 11th year, was the guy who knocked him down. Another flag down. Lions are offside this time, so Tampa Bay will have it 2nd and 5.
That shows that Detroit is a little bit edgy too, Don. They don't want anything to happen, any flukish kind of thing that might cause the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to beat them here.
So now the Buccaneers have some options. John McKay comes into the game to play wide receiver. Ike Haggins goes out. McKay coming in with the play, gives it to Blount.
It took me a long while to get used to John McKay's son playing for him down there, because every time I heard mention of the name John McKay, I said, hey, he should be on the sideline.
Oh, we got him on the field, not on the sideline right now. McKay is wide to the left. Morris Owens is wide to the right. Anthony Davis comes in motion. First back through is Ricky Bell. He powers his way ahead, close to the 40, close to a first down. Doug English, a very good defensive tackle out of the University of Texas, made the stop, number 78. But watch this change of speed.
Left tackle number 78, Doug English, has been very tough. He's been probably the most consistent player for the last couple of weeks. I might add, too, that the running set that the Buccaneers are using here, one lone setback, makes it very tough on any runner, no matter how good he is, to be able to hit that line without any lead block.
So the ball is now out across the 39-yard line. That'll bring up third down and about a foot. Larry Hand, a long-time defensive tackle, comes into the game as they go into the goal line defense. Newmoff, a linebacker, is pulled. They get some big people up front to go with the 5-down linemen. Third and really inches for Tampa Bay in the first quarter here at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. There's no score. Anthony Davis, first down Buccaneers, out to the 41. It was very interesting, as you noted, Emerson, on the field before the game. Tampa Bay is a very fired up football team today. These are pros, young as they may be and new to the league as they may be. There's a lot of pride, but this team is really up today.
Absolutely. They had an air about them that they have come here to win against the Lions, and in order for them to do it, they're going to have to get more out of their offensive unit, and hopefully that defense can shut the Lions down and possibly score one themselves.
Jeb Blunt at quarterback. The basic I set in the backfield. Davis is the deep back. Ricky Bell is the up back. Blunt takes a look. He's got a man open deep. Morris Owens is out there. The ball is just underthrown. Morris Owens was wide open. He had Detroit beaten. But the ball, as you see, came in short. James Hunter, a good cornerback out of Grambling, a #1 draft choice of the Lions a season ago, was beaten by a step. And I think we're going to see him go back to that before long, Em.
Don, I think Jeb was a little bit hasty in releasing the pass. He had maybe a couple more footsteps before he would have been down by one of the Lions. He threw it a little bit too soon, didn't get enough mustard on it, but he had 6 points there.
The Buccaneers have had 20 passes intercepted this season. Only their expansion partner, the Seahawks, have had more intercepted, 23. Second and 10, and let's see, they're going to bring in a new football. Very fortunate, as we mentioned at the outset, this roof is on the Pontiac Silverdome. It is pouring rain outside, but regardless of the time of the year, it is 72 and clear in the dome. There's the roof. Very excellent facility. Seats almost 80,000. Second and 10, no score. Anthony Davis gets the pitch back, and Anthony Davis cuts out to the 42 and really got no more than the line of scrimmage. As the Lions come up to fill Ed O'Neill, who's getting better week by week. He was a #1 draft choice out of Penn State. Played behind Laslovic his first couple of years, and now he's outstanding.
I like Ed O'Neill, number 55. Watch him as he moves across the line. You don't see him yet, but he's coming into your picture. There he is, a bit stumbling, makes a great tackle, kept his head up, got his arms around Anthony Davis, as you should do, not just reach at him, but make sure you get good body contact, wrap him up, then he's got to go down.
So now it is third down and 10 for Tampa Bay. They have the ball at their 42-yard line, 11:15 to play in the first quarter. There's no score. Lions haven't had the ball on offense yet. Here comes the blitz, a big one, and Jeb Blunt is knocked down back at the 30. Charlie Weaver was coming. Charles West, the strong safety, was coming. And they poured right through, and Blunt never had a chance to set up.
Blunt had to see this. At this point, you'd have to go to an automatic, Don, and I don't think that Jeb had gone to an automatic, because had he done so, he would have stood right up, released the ball right now. Instead, he tried to roll away from the oncoming blitz. Didn't work.
So Eddie Payton is now back for the Lions. There is Eddie Payton, number 34, 5'8", 175 pounds, out of Jackson State. And Dave Green, who was fouled, you'll remember, in his first punt attempt. That got the first down, tries it again. He gets off a good one. Payton takes it, and the coverage is there, and Payton is down at the 40. So it was a 34-yard punt, and the Lions, for the first time, will go on offense first and 10. We have 10 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the first quarter. As Dave Green hits the ball to Detroit, the Lions with their first possession, no score on the board.
ready to go in the pond anytime they want it.
Okay, Marv, we switched to headset now. Yes, sir. Well, Emerson was on the headset. I was. Right. A big game at Cincinnati. Chris Barnes just hit a 44-yard field goal to give the Bengals a 3-0 lead over Miami in the first quarter. Joe Reed at quarterback for the Lions. For the throw on first down. Reed has time. Here comes Selman. Gets it all away. It is caught by J.D. Hill, who is knocked out of the 47-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards on the play. Very nearly holding on Leroy Selman. Somebody had him on the ground.
Don, this is a little bit different here for the Detroit Lions. They've taken a lot of flaks over the last few weeks by being a club that ran the football a lot. But here on opening play, Reed cocks that arm and makes the first completion here. So it's a new twist for the Detroit Lions because they are not a passing club.
So the Lions come out throwing. Joe Reed, the quarterback for Detroit. 11th round draft choice of San Francisco back in 1971. Came to Detroit in 74 for a draft choice. Handoff up the middle, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers stop the carry short of the first down as Leroy Selman puts the hard hit on Horace King. Let's look at the Lions' offensive line. Yarbrough and Hertwig are the tackles. They're both huge, 275. Bollinger and Bowden are the guards, and veteran John Morris, now in his 14th year, is the center. Luther Blue, a young man out of Iowa State, great deep speed, is starting as one wide receiver. J.D. Hill, a flyer out of Arizona State's the other. And David Hill is the tight end, starting for veteran Charlie Sanders, who's hurt. Reed, the quarterback. Rick Kane and Horace King, the setbacks. Kane is a rookie out of San Jose State. 3rd and 1. Rick Kane gets the call. Looking to turn the corner. He gets the first down. Kane, a 200-pounder, a hard running back, rips ahead and gets the first down yardage, cutting back on the linebacker to get ahead.
Watch number 44 here. 44 rather. Number 44, Marv Hubbard, sprung Rick Kane, got a good block, moved him to the outside for a good game there, Don.
There's the front three of Tampa Bay. 4 linebackers, Dewey Selman, Richard Wood, Curtis Johnson in the game, Jarris White and Mike Washington at the corners. Jordan and Brown are deep. Curtis Jordan starting for Mark Cotney today. 1st and 10 for Detroit. No score in the first quarter. Lone setback is Horace King. He turns ahead for yardage, rips inside the 40, and King is down to the 32-yard line. Lions come back to the wing side of the field. They got a good block on one of the linebackers, and Horace King ripped ahead.
Look at the point of attack here as Kane, number 25, gets that outside. He gets good blocking at the point of attack from his tackles. Now he moves upfield, a good runner, but then he gets a little bit careless. He's been a workhorse for the Detroit Lions, but he starts weaving around with the football, leaving it out in the open. But has been a good runner and will be a good runner for the Detroit Lions in coming years.
So the gain was 13 yards. It's a first down for the Lions. No score in the first quarter. The ball of the Tampa Bay 33. First back through is Horace King. He doesn't get much, and a penalty marker goes down. Horace King is the leading rusher for the Lions, has picked up about 450 yards through the season so far. Dexter Bussey is next at 328. He's not come in the game yet. Rick Kane averaging 3.8 a carry. The Lions run the ball for an average of 3.8 a rush. They have through the first 9 games, but the penalty marker is down, Emerson.
Dexter Bussey, Don, has been bothered a bit with an ankle knee. He's been off and on with that thing, but right now Rick Kane has picked to the slack somewhat, even though he's made some costly mistakes. But I don't think that they've missed Dexter Bussey's running.
We have 7:33 to play in the first quarter here at Pontiac. And the Lions, beneficiaries of the 5-yard assessment against Tampa Bay, now have the ball 1st and 5. Long count. Joe Reed gives off to Marv Hubbard, the veteran Oakland Raider who came to Detroit prior to the start of this season. Dave Pear, the nose tackle, made the knockdown. He's a tough customer. The middle guard for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dave Pear. Dave Pear. Now the Cleveland Browns have jumped out in front of the Giants 7-0 on a run by Pruitt.
Cleveland is starting without Sipes this week. They're coming back with a backup quarterback, and Dave May has not played that much at all this year.
Browns running in a tie with Pittsburgh right now. Big game coming up on CBS, the doubleheader game. Dallas at Pittsburgh this afternoon. Second down and 3 for Detroit. No score in the first quarter. Timing pattern in the flat. The ball is caught. Leonard Thompson takes the ball inside the 20 and gets a first down. Mike Washington, the cornerback out of Alabama, made the knockdown number 40 for Tampa Bay.
Don, there was a little mix-up there with the Detroit offense. Marv Hubbard shifted out from the I to his setback position. Then Kane tried to move up. Luckily for them, they didn't get a motion penalty.
7-yard gain on the play. There are Joe Reed's numbers coming into this game. Has thrown only 33 times this season. Greg Landry is out with an injury. He is not in uniform today. Wide to the right goes J.D. Hill. Wide to the left, Luther Blue. Tight end is set to the left. First and 10. Detroit starting to challenge. Up the middle they go, and running hard is Rick Kane, who is knocked down at about the 15-yard line. He got about 3. The hit was made by Cedric Brown, the free safety, first year out of Kent State. As Detroit is now in field goal range, very much so, and will challenge for a touchdown as they have the ball. Second down and 7 coming up.
Rather dull, as some of the Detroit fans have said over the years, but my old mantra, Weeb Ewbank used to say that offense excites the crowds, but your defense wins ball games, and they want to steal out of offense.
Rick Kane, the rookie, carried 30 times last week. Here's a pitch back to Payton. 5'8". He doesn't get much. In fact, lost about a yard on the play as he tries to get back. 5'8", 175 pounds. Payton is knocked down, Eddie Payton, by David Lewis, a big linebacker out of Southern California. 6'4", 235 pounds, number 57.
Talking about Eddie Payton told me down on the field that he had hoped to become a starter before Thanksgiving Day, so he only has about 4 days to go. But the way Rick Kane is running, there's no possible way for him to get in there.
Eddie looks like he's out there for the pass, punt, and kick. They list him at 5'8". I think he's on his tiptoes to get there. Third down and 7 coming up for Detroit. Lions have the ball at the 16-yard line of Tampa Bay with no score in the first quarter. Joe Reed takes a deep drop, looks into the end zone, puts it up, it's intercepted. Dewey Selman has the ball. And Selman comes crashing out to the 30. And the Buccaneers are jumping up and down on the sidelines. Big Abe Gibran, their defensive coach, fires a fist in the air as Tampa Bay stops the threat and gets the football back. And Dewey Selman's down right now, but he appears to be all right. He was shaken up on the tackle.
Still down. Got the wind knocked
He's
out.
all right. He just had football in the solar plexus.
He doesn't know how to run with a football. He had it right on his belly button on his way down.
That can hurt when you fall on that, huh?
Yes, it will. You got to get it out of there. That's the wrong area for it.
Very nice, Buck. You haven't lost a thing, baby. Jerome Neal jersey, we call it. Well, there is Dewey Selman, who just came up with a big play for Tampa Bay. The interception, he was shaken up on the return. He ran the ball back 20 yards. Here it is.
He's going to be kidded all week, win or lose here, because the big fella doesn't know how to carry the football. Notice just before he goes down that he's got a ball sitting right on his belly button there. Notice right there. So as you fall, the ball is bound to knock all the air out of you. So I'm sure that's what happened to Dewey.
I'm surprised that ball stayed inflated. Dewey's 250. So the Lions challenge, but Tampa Bay came up with a big play, and with 4:31 left to play in the first quarter, the Buccaneers have the ball first and 10. motion. Jed Blunt fires it in the flat to Isaac Haggins. Good block. Haggins at the 40. He's got a first down. A nicely executed play. Revis knocked the japers out of somebody over there.
This is a quick screen, and Tampa Bay is getting out there in front of him. Isaac Higgins has that speed that you like. But then as he moves, one of his own teammates comes over and creams him. Just wipes him out.
Tight end Knapfliger still got 12 yards. First down. Tampa Bay has the ball out to their 41. Second back through is A.D. Anthony Davis, and he meets a load of tough Lions. They got some big people up front, and they all hit.
Don, getting back to Isaac Higgins, McKay likes him. He has that 4.3 speed for the 40, but as you have said many times, he has 4 second hands. Once he gets out there, he cannot keep control of the football with all that speed.
You recall earlier, Tampa Bay got a man deep. Morris Owens had everybody beaten. We'll see if Blunt doesn't go back to that. It's 2nd and 10 now for the Buccaneers. They've got to worry about the Lion blitz here and a passing down. It's coming. They go to run to Anthony Davis. He's knocked down for a loss of about 5. The Lions are a blitzing team. What do you do to offset that?
You've got to throw the football, Don. Whenever a team is blitzing you a lot, you've got to go to the quick tight pattern, the quick post, the quick fly. I feel kind of bad for Anthony Davis and Ricky Bell, 2 highly touted football players, ranked probably the best in the country in their heyday. Now they cannot hardly get out of the backfield. Makes it kind of tough to see young runners like that get bottled up.
Duran was the guy who made the tackle. Dick Duran, the free safety out of Yale. Anthony Davis has only a yard total offense and 5 carries. 3rd and about 15. 3rd and about 14, actually. No score in the first quarter. Ball was intended on a slant in to Isaac Haggins, but the ball was tipped away by Charlie Weaver, who was covering, and so the Buccaneers will punt the ball back to Detroit.
Jed Blunt was on the right page. He wanted a quick look in, but something had to happen because his receiver did not get inside quick enough. He stood there 3 yards from that line waiting on his outside receiver to get inside. Didn't happen.
Dave Green ready to punt now, number 4 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Eddie Payton is back deep for the Detroit Lions, standing as you see at his 25-yard line. 2:26 to play in the first quarter. A good hard snap. An end-over-end kick. This will come back in the Buccaneers. Payton at his 30 takes a look. Dancing, and he is waffled. He was really hammered over there. Making the hit for Tampa Bay was Lemon. He comes down to make the hit. 36-yard punt, and so as the Lions send their offensive unit out of the field, we have a timeout with no score on the board. Yeah, just bring it up a little if they can. Buck, let me see your red pen a second, Buck.
That's 30 seconds.
Greg Landry is on the headset on the sideline, not in uniform for the Detroit Lions today. Their normal starting quarterback, Joe Reed, is in there. He'll be directing the offense, 1st and 10 from the Lions' 37-yard line. This is Don Craigie with Emerson Boozer at Pontiac, Michigan. We have no score in the first quarter. Second possession for the Lions. They drove well the first time, but then Dewey Selman intercepted Joe Reed. Rick Kane with people out in front of him turns upfield. He gets waffled hard, gets out to the 40. Very hard tackle. Leroy Selman was up. Cedric Brown came up also to make the hit.
Adversity after adversity since 1963. This young man was a game breaker in those days, but thus far he's come up with 3 or 4 knee injuries. Again today, it's a swollen knee that probably has to be drained, but he has been one of the great ones down the line.
Greg's starting to get a little gray hair. I guess all quarterbacks do if they've been in this game a while. Second down and 8 now for Detroit. Marv Hubbard doesn't get much. In fact, not at all. Got to the 40. It'll be 3rd and 8 there. Filling in to make the tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off the bottom of the pile is number 54, Richard Wood, one of the linebackers.
Just not Marv Hubbard's kind of play. Marv at Oakland when he was with the Raiders, everything was straight at that tackle. Both of his tackles or guards getting a full head of steam. Watching on the last play, he had to weave a little bit to try to get back to his guard spot.
John Smith just hit the field goal to give New England the lead over Buffalo 3-0. Joe Reed takes a deep drop, gets the ball away. It is caught just short of a first down. Running the pattern, but not deep enough, was Marv Hubbard. He had to get downfield 1 more yard to get the first down, so it's going to come up 4th and 1. And Tampa Bay sending return men out onto the field. Isaac Haggins is coming out. Dave Lewis dropping back in. Pass coverage was on the hit.
Right now, Don, I'm impressed with the Detroit Lions offense, because if I thought there was a weakness and a strength for Tampa Bay, it had to be that Detroit Lions offensive line. But thus far, Tampa Bay has not blitzed as much as I thought they would.
Wilbur Summers is in the game now to punt for Detroit, standing back inside his 35-yard line. We have 17 seconds to play in the first quarter here at Pontiac, Michigan. And there's no score on the board. Isaac Haggins is back with Danny Reese, another former Southern California player on the Tampa Bay roster. Reed has thrown the ball 4 times so far, has completed 3 for 20 yards. He's had 1 intercepted. That, of course, the one by Dewey Selman that stopped the Lion drive. Summers hits the ball, angling for the sidelines. Danny Reese has it. Danny Reese has some blockers, too. Across the 30, across the 35, across the 40, and across the 45-yard line. A very well done return by Danny Reese, but there is a penalty marker down. However, it's at the line of scrimmage, so it's not necessarily a clip. It could be against Detroit for having a man down the field too early. That is the signal. It's against Detroit, so the play will go.
You want to get this kind of play. The ball is not kicked too high, so it gets down to the receiver very fast. Now Reese starts to point out, and that was just enough to slow him down. That's like a block, sometimes a finger. But again, you might put it out there and they'll take it off.
Here is Cal Lepore, the referee, to give us the official call. It was against Detroit. The play goes, the 34-yard return.
Nails go downfield.
So when we come back for the second quarter, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have the ball across their 45 as still nothing is on the board. Thank you. Huh? A little more even, yeah, if you can do it.
Sounds like he took it down to me.
Yeah, we need more audio level if we can. More audio level. Stay right on top of these. You got to be quick with this for me. Thank you. Right on top of those defensive guys. I need tacklers right away. Good. Beautiful, Buck. Everything going well in there? Are we feeding the house, Mark? Bob Greasy has just thrown 6 yards to Nat Moore, and the Dolphins have moved in front of Cincinnati 7-3 late in the first quarter. We're at Pontiac, Michigan. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions are scoreless through the first quarter of play, but after that good punt return by Danny Reese, the Buccaneers have the ball 1st and 10 just across their 45-yard line.
Probably the best field position either team has had in this ballgame right now. No, I'd say yes, the best field position. Having only about 45 yards to move, Tampa Bay could possibly come up with a score here, Don.
Well, let's see. The touchdowns have not come easily to this team. Their biggest point production in the brief history of the team, of course, was the 23 points they scored against Seattle. But that was short, as the Seahawks got 30 that day. 1st and 10 now. Jeb Blunt, the quarterback. He's dropping to throw. He's looking deep. He's putting up a home run ball, and Isaac Haggins is out there. Oh, the ball was tipped by the free safety, Dick Geron. It caromed off the helmet of Isaac Haggins. It was a touch away from being 6 points for the Buccaneers. Watch it again.
Very, very astute play here by Dick Geron. He got over there just in time to prevent a big 6-pointer. Free safety having to reach in the trail position. Gets the fingertips on it, causing the ball to bounce up a little bit, hitting Higgins on the forehead.
A great show on CBS tonight. You'll enjoy it. Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You'll see people like Valerie Perrine go against James Ferrantino in a bike race. Farrah Fawcett Majors against Dick Van Patten in a tennis match. Christy McNichol against Bruce Jenner on skateboards. Tampa Bay goes quickly to the run, and Ricky Bell on a draw play gets it out across the 46. Not much yardage at all. It's going to bring up 3rd and long, as there's a big rush again put on Jeb Blunt. Herb Orvis knocked him down. Orvis, a big tackle out of Colorado, came busting through. He's had some injury problems in his career. The ball is being spotted right at the Tampa Bay 45. Boy, they've been so close twice now, Emerson, at hitting on touchdown plays from way out. This Blunt can put the ball in the air.
Yes, he can, and then Isaac can really get down the field, too. He's got that good speed, and all you want to do is get the ball out there to him and hope that he catches it.
Tough play now for Blunt and the Buccaneers as Detroit comes with the blitz again. Here it comes. Blunt eludes the rush, and he is going down way back inside the 30. Cannot understand why he doesn't throw the ball out of bounds, rather to eat up and take a 25-yard loss.
This is something he's going to have to learn, Don, once he gets the blitz on. And I think, too, from the coaching staff, once you expect a team to blitz you a lot, you're going to have to gear yourself to getting rid of the ball a little bit faster. That Jeb Blunt has not done.
There was a holding penalty against Tampa Bay on the play, but that, of course, has declined as the loss is all the way back inside the 30, a loss of about 17 yards. So Dave Green is on the field to punt once again.
Penalty decline, 4th down.
If I'm not mistaken, he said holding 77 Lions. Can't be. That's defensive tackle. Defensive end John Woodcock. The penalty was against Tampa Bay, which was declined. As the play went, they took the sack. And now we have way back, ready to receive, Mr. Payton. Good punt by Green. Eddie Payton at his 28. Looks and is hit. Good special teams play, and a penalty marker is down. 43-yard punt off the foot of Dave Green, a return of only a yard.
That's the way you want to get the ball up. You hear talk all around the league about hang time, and hang time allows your covers to get downfield, get under the football, and hopefully get there as soon as the ball gets down.
But the Lions are falling back. Bears will not have a clip against them on the return. We have 13:58 to play in the first half, and there is still no score on the board. Here is the big assessment, and here is the official ruling.
Personal foul, clipping 43 on a return. It's 1st down.
Clipping on the play was Andy Bolton, and so we're going to have the Lions starting out 1st and 10 from just outside their 15-yard line as we have a scoreless ball game.
Three River Stadium, as I'm sure you know, Phyllis Morgan.
I need a lot more headset audio. I have no more than I had before. A lot more, yeah. If we can do it, thank you. Let's hear, yeah, that's good. Thank you. There is head coach John McKay. He's wearing that Florida sunshine very nicely across the way. But right now, his team is digging in on defense. They have the Lions back at their 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for Detroit, no score. Rick Kane takes a look, and he gets out across the 20. A pickup of about 5 yards. Kane's a slashing runner. As we mentioned, he carried 30 times last week against Atlanta. Had a critical fumble in that game, but for a rookie, and not that big a rookie, he's playing at under 200 actually right now. He takes the battering very well. The Lions are a team that does nicely at Pontiac, Michigan, but very poorly once they get on the plane and go elsewhere. They're 0-5 on the road, and as you see, 4-0 at home. Luther Blue comes wide to the right. J.D. Hill goes wide to the left. These are two 9'3" collegiate sprinters. Joe Reed takes a look, fires it out. Oh, man, Mike Washman came up on the ball. Had he gotten it, he had a clear road to the end zone. Had he not gotten it and J.D. Hill got it, he'd have gone about 70 for a touchdown.
I hope Mike Washington was not gambling on that thing. I'm hoping that they had a zone defense causing him to roll up, but if you're playing it that tight, you're going to see Mr. Blue streak that sideline.
A blue streak, as it were, huh? Iowa State. 4th round draft choice. Luther Blue is starting for Ray Jarvis today. So the Lions in their home uniform of silver and blue break the huddle. 3rd down coming up in a long 5 just across the 22-yard line. They have the ball. Here comes the big rush. Leroy Selman, and there's going to be a holding penalty also against Detroit. Leroy Selman, somebody had him right by the face mask, which I guess is a lot better than having him get a clean lick at your quarterback, because that can be adios.
David Lewis made the tackle. It's the first time that Tampa Bay unloaded that blitz that they have been so tough with.
Holding 75. Offense, penalty decline. It is 4th down.
Jim Yarbrough, big guy from the University of Florida. The man was holding.
Watch number 63 at the top of your screen here as he gets held. It's a maneuver that many defensive end places the offensive tackle in. By that I mean he loops his inside or outside arm underneath the tackle's arm. It looks like it's holding, and he starts to run. Here comes the flag, holding. So they has to punt the ball. The hit downfield by Summers is going to carry to Isaac Haggins at his 37. He turns the corner on Garth Menaful, and then is hit head on. Good special teams play by Detroit's Luther Blue, number 89. A 48-yard punt. So right now we're going to have a timeout called on the field as Tampa Bay's defense comes up strong again and gets the ball back for the offense with no score on the board.
Now you know why a Dutch master's like our breath.
We got it closed. Marv.
Yeah. Fine, thank you.
Marv. Marvin. Could we get a nice show on Dewey and Yarborough? Because if Yarborough lets Selman get away with what he just did, it's going to happen again. Right, right. You know, right now they just...
Any long yardage, they go tighten their linebackers because they're blitzing.
Mm-hmm.
With Emerson Boozer, this is Don Crickey back at Pontiac, Michigan. No score in the second quarter. 12:54 to play in the half. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay. Jeb Blunt gives off second back through with Anthony Davis. He gets ahead for about 4. Ripping out across the 40-yard line. Anthony Davis got out across close to the 42. Knocked down on the play by Paul Newmoff, the outside linebacker. Davis plays at about 190. He really can accelerate, though. About 5'10", 190 pounds. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 now for Tampa Bay. If they get that running game going at all, they've come so close twice. They had deep wide receivers behind the Lions secondary. Once the ball came in low, once it was just tipped. Jeb Blunt takes a look, swings it out. Anthony Davis has the ball. He is caught, and Charlie Weaver knocks him down at the 35-yard line. A loss of about 7 yards on the play, 6 yards. So that one didn't go for Tampa Bay, and now they'll come out 3rd and long again. And again, Emerson, we have that dilemma for Jeb Blount, the quarterback for the Buccaneers. He knows the Lions are going to be blitzing.
For the last 2 times they've come on 3rd downs, you would think at this point now he'd go to somewhat of an automatic. If he's going to run, it has to be a quick opening right at the blitzing linebackers or safety.
Hankins is wide to the left. Morris Owens is wide to the right. They've got speed on either flank. See those linebackers coming up tight. Pitch back to Anthony Davis. Turns the corner and goes out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So they don't risk their quarterback. They go to the run on the long down, 3rd and long. Ed O'Neill came across to force number 28, Anthony Davis, out of bounds. And so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers sent out their punter, Dave Green, once again.
Don, they tried to offset the blitz that time by getting a quick pitch out to Anthony Davis. If they're coming in the front door, he wants them to get out of the side door, but it just didn't work that time.
Some of the local writers were speculating the way the Lion offense has been going and the way the Tampa Bay offense is going. A scoreless tie. The last time we had one of those in the NFL was 1943. The New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. Green hits the ball, and a penalty marker goes down. Eddie Payton takes it at his 20. He gets leveled by Danny Reese. Tampa Bay will hit you. Danny Reese came down, but we do have a penalty marker down on the field. It came just as the punt was hit. That'll stop the clock with 11:15 to play in the first half. It is a scoreless ball game. Tampa Bay has gone with 3 different quarterbacks this season, 3 starters, Randy Hedberg, Gary Huff, and now Jeb Blount.
Ineligible. Offense downfield. Penalty decline. It is first down.
Detroit is going to decline the penalty, an illegal man downfield, so they're going to take the play, resulting in moving the ball out to their 28-yard line. And there the Lions will go on offense 1st and 10. They've not moved it well against this tough Tampa Bay defense. What's the score now? Boy. Buck, a very nice setting here. Buck. Very nice setting, easy chairs. Very nice setting, easy chairs. Beautiful. I have everything somewhere. Sports spec. Yep, I have it.
Yeah, we got one.
I have all my stuff from yesterday, gentlemen.
Just 10 seconds.
There is Joe Reed, who's put the ball up 5 times, has hit 3 for just 20 yards. One was intercepted when the Lions were down close, you'll recall, by Dewey Selman. First and 10 Lions with no score. Draw play, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers run that right down. Leroy Selman got the man, Horace King. And the boos start to be heard here at Pontiac, Michigan Emerson.
Boos were the opening note here when the Detroit Lions were introduced. Then they turned to cheers. And again, on a slow-hitting draw play, as Kane really didn't accelerate, because I think he saw Mr. Leroy Selman moving down the line. He tried to wait until he got past, but it did not happen.
Second down and 9 now coming up for Detroit. Joe Reed with a deep drop. Here comes a blitz, and Joe Reed is leveled on a blindside hit. Coming up to make the play was Curtis Jordan, a second-year defensive back out of Texas Tech, a strong safety, and he was never touched.
This is Mr. Kane. He just went at the top of your screen off to the right, number 25. I'm sure he had to pick up that man, but just didn't see him. Leaving his quarterback unprotected from the blind side, and Mr. Jordan unloaded.
They're down at 20.
Us Leroy now in slow motion here.
This is one of the strong forces of the Tampa Bay front 3. He just powers over Yarborough, completely runs over him like a Ford over a rooster.
That was an absolute foul. Yarbrough had him by the face mask again. You cannot extend your hands and hold the face mask. Axiomatic. Here is the handoff on 3rd and long. Buccaneers shut it down. Dave Pear, the middle guard, makes the hit. Tell you one thing, Tampa Bay, you're not going to score many points out on the New York Giants. Were very lucky to get the win last week. They got it. They were beneficiaries of a bad snap from center, which gave them the ball to Tampa Bay 2. That was the only touchdown they got.
Tampa Bay offensively had the ball inside the Giants' 20-yard line 6 times. Come away without a score. Not even 3 points.
Now it's 4th down and about 14 yards to go for the Lion first down. And so Danny Reese, 46, is back in deep formation for Tampa Bay. We have 9:45 to play in the first half. Wilbur Summers is in to punt now for Detroit. He arcs the ball downfield nicely. Reese will return it. Up the middle, across the 40, he puts his head down, and Danny Reese hits it out to the 46-yard line. A great sports spectacular is coming up next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time on CBS. You'll see the Los Angeles Times 500 NASCAR Grand National Stock Car Championship race. In the field, A.J. Foyt. World's Strongest Men competition will be coming up. This weekend they pick up girls. It's all right. And we have Countdown to Super Bowl. Brent Musburger will be hosting a segment that looks at the wild card teams, some of the spectacular plays of the season, and an assessment of the season as it stands at this point. Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Pitch back to Anthony Davis. And he is out to the 50. Anthony Davis got ahead for about 5 yards on the play.
Anthony got a little bit of an opening there, and he was forced back inside, which he didn't want to do, but Detroit played it as they should play it. Coming up, cornerback, coming up, forcing. They can just come back inside where all of his friends are. But picked up a little yardage there, about 4 or 5 yards.
It's going to be 2nd and a long 5 now for Tampa Bay. They have the ball across midfield. They're on the Detroit side of the field. Yeah, Blunt gives off. Anthony Davis runs into one of his own people. He's knocked down for a loss of a couple of yards. Trying to hit off the right side.
Don, that was a case of poor blocking at the point of attack because he didn't get, the lead blocker didn't get any movement at all on the linebacker. Ricky just didn't unload on the linebacker.
There is Tommy Hudspeth, the head coach of the Lions. There's the big game at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears are leading the Vikings 7-0. Walter Payton has just run a yard for a touchdown in the first quarter for that score.
No mistake now.
Jeb Blunt drops to throw. Swings it out to Ricky Bell. He's troubled, 220 pounds. Bell is knocked out of bounds at about the 46-yard line of the Detroit Lions by James Hutter, one of the cornerbacks. Let's watch it again.
A slow developing screen. Watch off to the right of your screen is the lineman release, number 62 and 51, as they get out trying to form the wall, and Jeff Winans, and they get some pretty good protection, but no place to go for Ricky Bell.
I'll tell you one thing, Tampa Bay's about 2 offensive linemen away from being a real football team. They've got one of the better defenses I've seen.
They need a tight end, Don, and I would say another quarterback, and they're ready to go.
Dave Green is in to punt, and there's Eddie Payton back to receive. Detroit will start out deep in its own area. He hits the ball well. He scripts it down. Again, we have a penalty marker down. Payton picks it up inside his 10. And Danny Reese comes over the top and gets him. Also on the play for Tampa Bay was Mucker. And so Detroit will start out inside its 15-yard line unless, we have an illegal man downfield for Tampa Bay. That's a punt over.
As fast as Mr. Mucker got downfield, it just might be him because I don't see how he got down there so quickly when the ball was a low punt.
Larry Mucker, a very quick wide receiver out of Arizona State. Might have been down early. We'll get the call from the referee, Cal Lepore. A 5-yard markup. It comes with 7:55 to play in the first half. There still is no score up.
Ineligible downfield, 53 offense, 4th down.
Illegally downfield for the Buccaneers was Rick Bonas. He was another high draft choice of the Oakland Raiders, a linebacker out of Nebraska. Neither team has a first down in the second quarter. Each team has 3 first downs for the game. And each team has a goose egg up on the scoreboard. It is 0-0 with 7:55 to play. Green hits it again, high end over end. At the 15, here's Eddie Payton. Oh, he ran into a heavy hit. Eddie Payton was waffled down on the play. Coming up to make the pop was Ragsdale. And so it is 1st and 10 for Detroit after a 37-yard punt by Dave Green. 7:43 to play. Neither team with offense that can sustain.
Don, is that Winans or Wienans?
Winans.
Winans.
And it's Higgins, not Haggins. Haggins, not Higgins. Haggins.
Hag.
That is an interesting statistic. Tampa Bay's defense allowed only 197 yards to the Giants last week. In fact, Tampa Bay outgained the New York Giants last week by 90 yards. Buccaneers had 287 yards total offense. Lions with the ball, 1st and 10. Bang, free football. Dave Pear has it. He's inside the 15 and down to the 9. 1st and goal, Tampa Bay. Boy, I'll tell you, the Buccaneers defense plays some kind of football. They just detonate on the ball carrier. Watch this hit. Leroy Selman. He knocked the football free. Dave Pear picks it up and runs the ball down inside the 15-yard line. The quarterback, Reed, finally ran him down. The ball's right at the 10.
Once again, Rick Kane, Don, is having his trouble. He's been a good little runner for the Detroit Lions, but he had a costly fumble last week in Atlanta that cost a touchdown. Fortunately, this time they were able to drag Pear down before he got to the end zone, or it might have been 6 points again, all from Ricky Kane.
So it is 1st and goal for Tampa Bay at the 10-yard line of Detroit. No score in the second quarter. Pitch back, Anthony Davis, end around. Here comes Morris Owens, and the Lions knock him down for a loss of 7 yards. And they take the ball away. Penalty markers down. We'll see if this comes back. Len Barney going down the field. The ball was stolen. There are penalty markers down all over the field.
That one has to come back, Don, because the ball was headed forward to Len Barney.
Paul Newmoff takes his helmet off in disgust. He's angry about something. One of the Lion defensive players. Lions apparently have the football. Their offensive unit is coming out. They stole the ball. But as you pointed out, Emerson, the forward handoff negated that long run for what might have been a touchdown by Len Barney. We'll have to look at that again. Here's Cal Laporte.
And an illegal forward pass on the return. Penalty is declined. We have aiding the runner on the offense, making it a 1st down.
Here, let's watch it now. Here is the play.
Take a look again. They're doing an end around. Anthony Davis hands off.
Morris Owens has the ball.
Gets in a bit of trouble here. I really don't see the ball leave his hand here, but number one, he's got the ball inside where all the opposition is coming from. That you never want to do, be it in the pros or in collegiate ranks or high school or little leagues. Now the ball comes out.
Picks it up on one hop.
And it's the kind of thing that hurts you time and time again. Tampa Bay's offense getting the ball in good field position, the best possible, cannot come up with even a three-pointer. Have to get better at it.
Rick Kane turns the corner, and Tampa Bay sweeps him down. He started out from the 13-yard line and got not much farther. And so Dave Pear is on the tackle along with Dewey Selman. And it will be second down coming up for the Detroit Lions with 6:55 and the clock running in the second quarter. There's no score on the board. There is Rick Kane. He almost cost the Lions points with that fumble.
He's got to be a happy man right now, having gotten the ball back only after one play and preventing a score from getting on the board.
Joe Reed with a second down and 10. Rolling out. Has a man running a deep pattern. And he puts it up short. Luther Blue was running deep. David Hill, the tight end, was running short, and he put the ball perfectly between them.
There was not a Detroit Lion within 10, 15 yards. Now, why he threw the ball in an open spot, I really don't know. Not unless he was trying to get rid of it. Wasn't that much pressure.
So that'll bring up third down and 10 now for the Lions. Their offense hasn't given them much today, and the Tampa Bay defense has had a lot to do with that. Cincinnati has just scored in a 17-yard run by Kenny Anderson to take the lead over the Miami Dolphins. 10-7, a very big game being played at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. On third down conversions, the Lions are only 1 of 5. They have a third and 10 coming up. Joe Reed has Leroy Selman hit him just as he gets the ball away and is intercepted. Mike Washington has the ball for Tampa Bay. Inside the 20. Still on his feet. Blockers in front. Inside the 15, and Mike Washington. And All-American at Alabama runs the ball back inside the 15-yard line. And again, Joe Reed makes the tackle.
If you're going to throw it, you're going to have to try to stop it. Joe Reed, he doesn't get that much pressure, even though Selman comes in off the right of his screen, makes a hit as the ball is released, but he just simply overthrew as an intended receiver, and Washington picks it off and starts back downfield. Gets a little bit careless here with the football. You should cherish this thing once you get your hand on it, especially as a defensive ball player, but great field position for the Tampa Buccaneers. Let's see if they can move it in.
Tell you, this Tampa Bay defense plays darn good offense.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a lot of yardage. 3 turnovers. Anthony Davis up the middle. And I think right now Tampa Bay is going to play it very close to the vest and probably run the ball right up the gut to give themselves a shot at a field goal, if not a touchdown.
I think right now Coach McKay has changed his strategy a bit. He was wide open on the last possession of the football and calling that end around, losing the football. Now he wants to try to move it down, and hopefully if he doesn't get it into the end zone 4 or 6 points, he's going to try the field goal.
Buck Jersey, our statistician, just handed me some amazing statistics. Walter Payton of Chicago has run for 151 yards with 2 minutes still to go in the second quarter against the Vikings. Right up the middle of Ricky Bell, and he crashes inside and down to the 5-yard line. It'll be third and less than in about 2 for Tampa Bay. Charles West, the Lions' strong safety, made the hit.
There is something stuttering about the Tampa Bay offensive unit. Watch number 42, Ricky Bell. He had to ward off a would-be tackler. Couldn't get a full head of steam. There's a breakdown here and there with that Tampa Bay offense, causing their runners to have to pick and choose their way.
There is Gary Danielson, the third quarterback. He is a second-year man out of Purdue. Apparently Joe Reed is going to get the hook. Third and about 3 for Tampa Bay. Ricky Bell crashes ahead, very close to a first down. Not quite there, it doesn't appear. Bring up 4th and inches.
There was something there, Don. I don't know whether our viewers saw it or not. Number 42, Ricky Bell, ran inside. He didn't run that thing with authority. He was kind of feeling his way with one arm out, trying to shield himself. That's not the Ricky Bell I know.
Well, Jeb Blunt looked over. John McKay said, stay in their offense. No place kickers coming in. We're going for the first down. So right now they're going to call a timeout. And let's watch as Marvin Muse, our director, shows us it again.
This is not Ricky Bell. Watch him once he gets into trouble. He gets his arm out front trying to ward off tacklers. When you're in that close, you've got to rip with everything you got with hopes of getting into that goal line. That's not the Ricky Bell I know. Early in the week, there was a report that Ricky felt that he is not running well. And apparently on that run right then shows that he is not running as well as he was run.
There's a really outstanding show for the whole family coming up next Wednesday at 8 Eastern Time here on CBS. Once Upon a Brothers Grimm, a magical trip through the wicked delights of the fairy tale world of the Brothers Grimm with Dean Jones and Paul Sand. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, next Wednesday night on CBS. And also, you'll be seeing the George Burns one-man show. That's coming up Wednesday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central. 80-year-old George Burns has a great show for you. He's got some great people with him. Ann Margaret, Gladys Knight and the Pips, the Captain and Tennille, and a special friend, Bob Hope. That's next Wednesday night at 10 Eastern time. George Burns one-man show here on CBS. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Love that title. One-man show with a great lineup of guests.
4th and inches for Tampa Bay. The ball at the Detroit 4-yard line. No score. 4:39 to play in the first half. Jeb Blunt, the quarterback. Morris Owens goes in motion. Handoff. Ricky Bell. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay scores a touchdown and takes the lead 6-0. As they go 13 yards in 4 plays, they gamble on 4th down, and Ricky Bell, the great All-American from Southern California, gets his number called and responds with a touchdown run.
Watch again here. It was not the kind of play where Ricky Bell was coming out with authority until he found his way to the outside, saw the dark color blue, knowing that that's the end of the line, needing 6 points, and they got it. They're on the board.
So with 4:34 left to play in the first half, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have gone on the board. They've forced 3 turnovers. They're great defense. There's a player down for Tampa Bay. It looks like Jeff Winans was shaken up on the touchdown run. But Ricky Bell on 4th and inches from 3 yards out powers his way into the end zone, and it's a 6-0 game. And now Levitt is on the field to try the point after for Tampa Bay. Jeff Winans is up, and he's okay. So we've had a dramatic turn of events here today as Tampa Bay has taken the lead. Their defense has just played superior football. As we have 4.5 minutes to go, Dave Green will hold in the first half. Alan Levitt will try the point after. Levitt hits the extra point, but there's a penalty marker down. The Lions are protesting something in.
I'm sure right now Coach Hudspeth and all of his Detroit ball players are saying, we hope it's not us that have to lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
It was against the Lions. The extra point is good. Tampa Bay leading the game 7-0 as there's some jubilation on the sideline, and Tampa Bay has a total offense, believe this or not, it's true, they have a total offense of only 9 yards, yet their great defense has been the difference. The Lions only have 36 yards. That's how it stands, 7-0, and of course, next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular with 3 interesting and outstanding segments. And then on Sunday, it's more NFL action, a doubleheader day. And of course, on Thursday, you'll be seeing the Chicago Bears go against the Lions here at Detroit at 12 noon Eastern time, the annual Thanksgiving Day NFL game here at Detroit on CBS. The assistant coaches for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Bass, Willie Brown, Wayne Fonz, Jerry Fry, Abe Gibran, who's done a great job with that defense, the former head coach of the Chicago Bears, Skip Husbands, Phil Kruger, and Bill Nelson. I always remember the line that Charlie Hanna, the fine defensive tackle from Alabama, who unfortunately is out with knee surgery, said after he had dinner at a big seafood restaurant over in Tarpon Springs with Abe Gibran. He said Gibran was eating squid and eel, and Hanna said Coach Gibran was eating things we wouldn't go swimming with in Alabama. They hit downfield. Bolton is back along with Eddie Payton. Payton turns upfield, and Tampa Bay knocks him down at about the 23-yard line. Next Sunday, CBS Sports presents an NFL doubleheader, kicking off with games like the Atlanta Falcons versus the Buccaneers at Tampa Bay. Los Angeles plays at Cleveland. The Giants go against the Bengals at Cincinnati. Philadelphia's at New England. Minnesota plays at Green Bay. Then the doubleheader games, one of the great matchups always. The Cowboys and the Redskins, they meet at RFK Stadium in Washington. You'll see that game. Or New Orleans at San Francisco next Sunday here on CBS. Gary Danielson's in the game at quarterback now for the Lions. He's thrown only 8 passes so far. Hands off to Horace King, and the knockdown is made at the 25-yard line, a gain of just 2 yards. On the play was Council Rudolph, the left end, number 78. That front 3 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Council Rudolph, Dave Pear, and Leroy Selman, are great tough customers. There's Gary Danielson. 6'2", 200 pounds. Has had almost no playing time. The starting quarterback, Joe Reed, one of the leading tacklers for Detroit. Bears beating the Vikings. Bob Thomas just hit a 37-yard field goal for Chicago. Danielson play faking. Here is the long throw. Almost intercepted. There's a penalty marker going down now. A penalty marker is down at the spot where the ball came down. We'll see if it's against the offense or the defense.
The way Tampa Bay is moving back, they believe that it's against the Detroit Lions for pushing. Let's wait and see.
It is. They're actually cheering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here in Detroit. Like they're playing in Tampa Bay. The cheer just came up because the penalty was against Detroit.
The fans around Detroit have been very tough on the Lions here, simply because they feel that they should have done better at this point. Plus, they lack ingenuity in their offensive attack.
Let's look at some other scores from around the National Football League. The Jets are leading the Colts 3-0 in the first quarter at Baltimore, your old Club M.
That's too early to say anything. Pat Leahy, a man that has had difficulty all year, has put the Jets ahead.
Jerry Goldsky just threw a touchdown pass to Emery Moorhead, a rookie from Colorado, from 15 yards out. And the Giants and the Cleveland Browns are tied at 7.
That's a surprise early in the ballgame.
Interference was called against Ray Jarvis, the deep receiver for Detroit, so now it's 2nd and 20 for the Lions. .3:35 to play in the first half. Danielson fires. A man is open. J.D. Hill is caught and knocked down. Mike Washington grabbed him. Good gain on the play, but it'll be short of a first down.
Right now, Mr. Sullivan has attracted dual attention. A simple out pattern here by Danielson, but he has a pretty good zip on the football. Gets the ball downfield in fine form. And J.D. tries to break the tackle as he is running sort of an out comeback pattern.
Tampa Bay players are all standing along the sidelines. This team is really gunned up for this game. 3rd down and 7 now for the Lions. Tampa Bay leads 7-0. Late in the second quarter. Danielson takes a look. He eludes Dave Kerr. First down, Lions, as Danielson gets out to the 40.
That's something the Detroit Lions have been lacking. With Greg Laundrie, he's been hesitant to run. In earlier years, he was a great runner. Now Danielson looks downfield, sees that everything is covered. He takes to the ground and picks up the first down, covering 14 yards.
A 14-yard gain on the play by Gary Danielson. And so we have 2:53 left to play in the first half, and the Detroit Lions are 60 yards from the Tampa Bay end zone. 1st and 10, Detroit. Buccaneers lead at 7-0. Big power back from Colgate. Gets the call and crashes out to the 46-yard line. As the clock continues to wind down, Dewey Selman was on the stop along with Cecil Johnson, a rookie linebacker from Pittsburgh. 27-year-old Council Rudolph is the old man of the Tampa Bay defense. These guys are going to be around for a long time to come. I think their oldest linebacker is 24.
24 years old, and that tells the story that if John McKay can keep this defensive unit intact, they're going to be tough to deal with down the road.
2nd and 4. Danielson now gets a timeout as the 2-minute warning is given. Danielson's 14-yard run was the longest play of this game so far, but right now he's got to move the Lions a lot farther as they're behind 7-0 with 2 minutes to go in the half. with Emerson Boozer. This is Don Crickey back at Pontiac, Michigan. The Detroit Lions break the huddle, 2 minutes to play in the first half, and they trail the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-0. Second down and 4 coming up. Here comes the big rush on Danielson. He gets it away. It is caught by Horace King. He's ahead for a first down to the 49-yard line. Richard Wood and Jarris White were on the stop for the Buccaneers.
This is the value of having 3 down linemen rushing and 4 linebackers. This time they bring one of the linebackers on a blitz, but just not enough, because in that second wave of defensive line, you've got linebackers back there too, as you see, 54, 61, 57, all linebackers shutting that thing off.
Joe Reed is out of the game. Danielson throwing long. Oh, it was almost a touchdown to Ray Jarvis. The ball was tipped away at the last moment by Cedric Brown.
Good defensive play there, because that might have gone a long, long way. Cedric barely got over there and got his fingertips on it.
The Lions have their full complements of timeouts. Of course, that incomplete pass stopped the clock, as you see, with 1:22 left to play. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the lead 7-0. The Lions have the ball, second down and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Buccaneers. Luther Blue is now in, wide to the left. J.D. Hill is wide to the right. David Hill is the tight end, set to the left. Danielson. Tampa Bay's rushing just 3 men. Here's a pass. Again, it was almost intercepted. Boy, I tell you, Tampa Bay plays some crashing, thundering defense.
That typifies Abe Gibran.
No, they're out waffling people.
Abe has always been a very physical, defensive-minded coach, and he wants everybody being hit. He wants to see them knocked down. Nothing soft about Abe Gibran.
Fine gentleman, Abe Gibran. Great motivator of players. From nearby, not too nearby, Michigan City, Indiana. Abe's a tremendous motivator of players. He's the head defensive coach, and Abe's pretty close to all-pro quality with what he's got out here now in the second year. Pass is thrown, and Mike Watson goes for the ball. Luther Blue, or J.D. Hill was turning in, and Luther Blue, running a deep pad on the other side, was well covered, and so it goes as an incomplete pass, and now Wilbur Summers is in the game to punt.
Just a bad pass by Danielson then. Had he thrown the ball up, he would have had his completion. Threw it down a wee bit too low. Normally when that happens, they're trying to control it, keeping it low, but he got it a bit too low.
Danny Reese is back deep for Tampa Bay. Ball has really boomed, angling it out of bounds, went into the end zone. Wilbur Summers almost got it out of bounds. It just kicked into the end zone. 49 seconds left to play in the first, 49-yard punt, 103 left to play in the first half. The CBS Sports Spectacular coming up next Saturday afternoon at 4:30 Eastern Time. The Los Angeles Times 500 NASCAR stock car race with A.J. Foyt in the field. You'll also see the world's strongest men competition. This week, the gentlemen pick up 2 110-pound young ladies at the same time, in addition to 265 pounds of dead weight. And then there's countdown to Super Bowl, a special preview of what might be expected for the playoffs, and then on to the big game in New Orleans in January. Anthony Davis runs the ball. Goes out of bounds. That stops the clock, as you see, with 57 seconds left to play. Newmont ran him out of bounds. I think, Emerson, that the Buccaneers would be quite content now to run this clock out and go to the locker room with the lead.
I would think so, but what they have just done with a toss out and pitch outs, you don't like to do that kind of thing with only seconds before half, because if you lose the football and pitching it around like that, and it goes to the other team. So I would like to see them settle down right here, as they should do, and run the ball straight ahead and kill that clock.
Jeb Blunt, the quarterback, and 2nd and 12. Pitch back Anthony to Ricky Bell. He turns infield very wisely and keeps the clock moving. And the Lions call a timeout. Now they have a chance to get the ball back. 49 seconds left to play. This is going to bring up 3rd down and long, so Tampa Bay will be forced to punt if the Lions stop this play, and the Lions would have a little bit of time to operate, maybe get in field goal range.
Again, they come right back with a quick toss, once to Anthony Davis, this time to Ricky Bell. Why, I don't know, because the first one didn't work. You come right back with the same play a second time.
On Thanksgiving Day at 12 noon Eastern Time, it's the Chicago Bears and the Lions of Detroit here at Pontiac, Michigan. You'll see that game here on CBS starting at 12 noon. The Bears and the Lions, two arch rivals from the NFC Central Division. Right now we have 49 seconds left to play in the first half here at Pontiac. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the lead 7-0. At halftime we'll be getting an update on all the action around the National Football League in this 10th weekend of play with Brent Musburger and Irv Cross in New York. Of course, Phyllis George also at CBS Sports Control. Ricky Bell runs the ball straight up the middle. The Lions call another timeout. And the clock is stopped, as you see, with 43 seconds left.
You can bet your last bottom that Detroit is trying to get that football and hopefully get on the board before they go into the locker room, because there will be no celebrating, any noise at all in the Lions locker room at halftime. The floor belongs to Hudspeth and all of his assistants.
There is the very celebrated colors of the University of Michigan here in the state of Michigan. Of course, Michigan yesterday the victor over Woody Hayes, the Archie Bunker of college football. Woody's deportment, if somebody doesn't come down on that when he tees off on the cameraman. He's a great guy to pontificate about America and the great values and so forth. The guy's breaking yard mark 1 year, punching cameramen another. Dave Green in the game to punt. A great victory for Michigan yesterday. And of course a great Cotton Bowl will be on CBS. Notre Dame, and if Texas wins the Southwest Conference, #1 ranked Texas. Eddie Payton takes the ball back. Oh, Eddie's not done yet. Got to get a net to get Eddie.
An exciting little runner. He was just like a little water bug then, darting and darting his way, trying to get upfield and set up a possible field goal range. Once again, watch this little water bug, Eddie Payton. Good little runner, low center of gravity. Here's a move that you really don't see too often. He looks back one way, turns back to his right, and gets upfield, darting and moving. And if you're not careful, he's going to break it on you. Good return by Payton.
.29 seconds left to play in the first half. Danielson lets it go long. Intercepted. The ball is picked off by Curtis Jordan. And the Buccaneers get it back with 19 seconds to play in the half. That's what, the fourth turnover Tampa Bay's defense has come up with.
Yes, it is. Being a young quarterback in Danielson, he didn't really recognize what was happening to him downfield because he was covered front and back. The ball should have never been thrown in that direction.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, the NFL today, an update on all the action around the league, and there's some big games being played. Brent, Phyllis, and Irv are standing by at CBS Sports Control in New York. Here at Pontiac, Michigan, we have 19 seconds left to play in the first half. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a Herculean defensive effort. It's turned the ball over, taken it back 4 times from Detroit. A touchdown run of 3 yards by Ricky Bell is the only scoring, and Tampa Bay leads 7-0. Jeb Blunt is run down. 13 seconds left to play, and the Lions, I hope Blunt's all right. He was shaken up a little bit.
I think he's all right, Don. He is trying to cover that football, too, along with being a little bit shaken up. But his #1 concern as he lay there on the ground was to make sure he's got the football.
There are the Detroit Lions, big Jim Laslovic, number 52, a Penn State linebacker. There's not much jubilation on that side of the field, and understandably, they trail 7-0 as the clock winds down and the first half comes to an end. There's the gun. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense forcing 4 Detroit Lion turnovers. Ultimately, Tampa Bay gets one and runs it in from 3 yards out on a 4th and inches. They went to the run, and Ricky Bell ran the ball in for the only touchdown of the game as John McKay and his offensive backfield coach Bill Nelson, who quarterbacked for him at Southern California, come off the field. And so after the first 2 quarters of play, Tampa Bay, yet to win a regular season game in the National Football League, is halfway there. They lead the Lions 7-0. Public service by the National Football League. Now here's the first half statistics, Emerson Boozer. You can assess those really pretty much even except rushing. Lions have a little more overall stats. Only 38 yards for the Buccaneers, but they'll take that bottom line. They lead 7-0.
Yes, they will. Right now, I'm sure the Detroit Lions are saying stats are for losers because they're pretty much even, but the point spread is the big difference.
Here is the kickoff now by Green, and it's taken by Eddie Payton across the 20, out to the 30, into the 32. They go with a straight-ahead return. Eddie Payton out of Jackson State, brother of Walter Payton, who's tearing up the Minnesota Vikings today at Chicago. Gets the ball out to the 32-yard line. Paul Harris, an Alabama linebacker, was down to make the tackle.
1st and 10 for the Lions on the 31-yard line.
So it is now 1st and 10 for the Lions. Their starting quarterback, Detroit, if you join us late, Greg Landry, is not in uniform today, injured in the knee last week and is out. Joe Reed came in. He was intercepted regularly by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the first half. He got him twice. Danielson came in then. That's who's quarterbacking now, Gary Danielson, in his second year from Purdue. Hand off to Rick Kane. And he got ahead for very little yardage, got across the 32. And you know, Emerson, the Detroit Lions came out of that locker room fired up. They don't want to be embarrassed.
I can imagine Coach Tommy Hudspeth getting to the locker room, not really being very, very vocal, but almost pleading, please don't let these guys beat us, especially in Detroit.
Brent Musburger was talking about that 63-yard field goal that Dempsey kicked. That was also against the Detroit Lions. Remember, after the game, the Lions were so astounded by that play. Joe Schmidt, then their coach, said Dempsey didn't kick that. God kicked that one. Nobody can kick a 63-yarder.
He had to get some help from somewhere.
2nd and 9, Detroit. End around. Here comes Dave Hill, the tight end. Got to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Jarris White made the tackle. There is Tommy Hudspeth, the Lions coach. And you know he's going to go into his bag of tricks and pull everything he can out to get some points up.
It looks as though right now, Don, that Tommy has gone to the messenger-type ball player. I don't think he's allowing Danielson to call his own plays. And plus, they are not throwing the ball in the opening third quarter here as they did in the first. They've gone basically to the ground.
3rd down and 6 coming up for Detroit. Early in the third quarter, Tampa Bay is in the lead, 7-0. Might be a delay of game against the Lions. They were looking to get Tampa Bay to jump, I think.
I had that feeling that Danielson would hold him there a little too long because time was running out. He had to move a little bit quicker. That will happen with a young quarterback, having not played much in the 1977 season.
Delay, offense, 3rd down.
There's Gary Danielson. He's 26 years old, originally played in the World Football League. Was signed by the Lions last year as a free agent. He was captain of the North team in the annual Shrine Game and is from nearby Detroit, suburb of Detroit. Divine Child High School, one of the football powers in this area. Danielson takes a deep drop, fires it down the middle, and the ball is caught by J.D. Hill for a first down to the 45-yard line. J.D. Hill coming back at the ball a la Fred Biletnikoff. 15-yard gain. Mike Washington hit him.
Danielson tried this play just before the half. He threw the ball low. This time he comes right back with it. The ball is thrown low on a comeback pattern by J.D. Hill. This time completed. When we say comeback, we mean that he runs down a field for the necessary yardage that he needs for the first down, but goes beyond 3 or 4 more yards. Then he comes back 3 or 4 yards, running away from the defender.
First and 10. Danielson, second back through is Rick Kane, and he is caught and really, literally twisted to the ground. They're playing on an artificial turf field here at the Pontiac Silverdome. Nelson Rudolph, big defensive end from Kentucky State. And Dewey Selman, one of the 4 linebackers. Dave Lewis, 57, Dewey Selman, 61. Cecil Johnson, 56, and Richard Wood, 54, are the 4 linebackers for Tampa Bay. Rudolph, Perrin, Selman, Leroy Selman, the down lineman, the up front 3. Jarris White and Mike Washington, the corners. Curtis Jordan and Cedric Brown are the safeties. Danielson bootlegging. He gets a first down. Gets the ball down to the 44-yard line of Tampa Bay. So Danielson calls his own number on a naked reverse. The quarterback rolls out and gets the first down yardage, and the Detroit Lions continue to roll on here in the third quarter. 12:25 to play in it. 8-yard gain. Emerson?
Danielson is going to have to be awfully careful with that, because number 34, Cedric Brown, came up that time, took his legs out from under him. Quarterbacks have to be awfully careful. If they've gotten the needed yardage, you've got to go down before you hit, especially with Greg Landry out with a sore knee.
Eddie Payton is now in the backfield. He's behind Marv Hubbard. Looks like Hubbard's little brother standing there behind him. Eddie Payton's going to throw an option pass. Eddie's 0 for 1.
That ball was simply dropped there because it got there. Anytime a receiver can get his hands on the football, it should be caught. But Charlie just couldn't hold on to it.
Charlie Sanders in the game now. Did not start the game. Dave Hill was in there at the outset. Sanders is troubled by a knee problem. So now we have second down coming up, second down and 10. The ball at the 44-yard line of Tampa Bay. We're in the third quarter, 11:53 to play in it. And the Buccaneers in a 3-yard touchdown run on fourth down. Have the only points of the game. Ricky Bell took it into the second quarter to give Tampa Bay the lead. Danielson gets away. Fires the ball and completes it for a first down. Charlie Sanders got the ball. Danielson with a great recovery. He was hit hard, got away, and sidearmed the ball to Charlie Sanders for a first down.
He got all kinds of pressure that time from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were on high seas and coming. As you see, 63 Leroy Selman goes over the top as Danielson ducks, pulls away from one man here, and sidearms down to Charlie Sanders for a big gain of 14 yards and a first down, Don.
Leroy Selman came right over the top there. He had Danielson but couldn't hold him. And so with 11:30 to go in the third quarter, the Lions drive on. Danielson, as you see, 4 for 9 for 44 yards. Ball's at the 30-yard line of Tampa Bay. Lions starting to go now. J.D. Hill comes in motion. They go back to Rick Kane, and he is tracked down by Counsell Rudolph and by Mike Washington. Very little, if any, gain.
The Buccaneers were ready for that play. They have done their homework well. As you saw J.D. Hill go in motion, number 40, Mark Washington, rolled up to the inside, and exactly where the ball was coming as Detroit headed off, coming back to Mark Washington. They shut that thing off completely.
Andy Bolton now goes in the game with a big back end. Bolton is teaming up with Rick Kane. Second down and 11. Draw play to Bolton. Buccaneers get him. He didn't get much. Got down to about the 28. Dewey Selman made the hit. Leroy Selman was smoking on the play also. You'll see him tee off and go. Watch him.
Leroy, number 63, working against Yarborough here. He recognizes what's happening. There's a draw play. Now he has to move back inside. And what enables him to get back there so easily is that he kept both hands on Yarborough's shoulders, keeping him off so he can't get into his body. Move down the line laterally, making the tackle.
This guy is a fantastic football player, Leroy Selman. Obviously, #1 player drafted a year ago. First player drafted by Tampa Bay. Danielson throws. J.D. Hill was running the post pattern coming off the flank. The ball was there, and so was the hard hit by Jarris White.
Danielson had the right play call in, Don. His backs were aware of it. His linemen were aware of the blitz coming to the safety. All he wanted to do is get the ball to the inside, but he threw it behind his receiver.
Now the Lions send out their staunch place kicker, Steve Mickemeyer.
I think Mickemeyer has to be a little bit shaky. He's had a difficult time this year, hitting just about from anywhere.
He's going to try from 47 yards. Danielson will hold. He's got the distance. 47-yard field goal by Steve Mickemeyer, and so the Lions are on the board. 9:42 to go in the third quarter, and it's a 7-3 game. Tampa Bay holding the lead.
keep a look at Selman. I want to explain why.
This is Don Criqui with Emerson Boozer back at Pontiac, Michigan. Isaac Haggins and Anthony Davis are back deep now for the kickoff by Mickemeyer, who just hit a 47-yard field goal. He put a charge into that one, but they'll bring it back. Davis fumbles the ball. And Anthony Davis goes down at the 10-yard line. That's not the first time he's done that this season.
That's another mistake, even though he did not lose the football. Had you let the ball go into the end zone, it would have been out to the 20. This time at the 10.
Cincinnati now has annexed its lead to 13-7 over Miami on a field goal by Chris Barr from 43 yards out, his second of the game. New Orleans has moved out in front of the Atlanta Falcons. That game in the second quarter at New Orleans. Jeb Blunt, the quarterback, starting out in the hole. First and 10 from his 10. First back through is Ricky Bell as the Buccaneers look to get room to work. If Detroit's defense can hold here, Emerson, they could force a punt, and then Lions could get very good field position. Denver looking to go for its 9th win in 10 games this season out in front of Kansas City, 7-0. That game in the first quarter. Baltimore has now moved in front of the Jets, 9-3. Linhart hit a field goal, and Burt Jones threw a 53-yard pass to Raymond Chester. The extra point was missed. Second and 8. First back through is Ricky Bell. Oh, man, he almost took it the distance. Ricky Bell rips it out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. That's the biggest gainer of the day for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And as we watch it again, you can tell Ricky Bell is a little bit tight here. Reason I say he's tight because he keeps the football in tight. He clutches it, keeps on driving. Normally when a running back gets out in the open like that, he starts to move a bit. But he was satisfied to pick up the 20 yards.
Herb Orvis and James Hunter ran him down, but it was a 20-yard gain. It gets Tampa Bay out of the hole, and they have a first down at their 31. They lead the game 7-3, third quarter. Here's Isaac Haggins, wide open. It's a foot race now. Haggins inside the 30. He fumbles the ball. It's going all the way down inside the 10. It's a free football again. It might be a safety. We'll see what the impetus is ruled. It's ruled a touchback. The Lions have the ball on a touchback.
Here's what we meant earlier. Tampa Bay put Haggins in because he has 4.3 speed, but those 6-second hands, he gets hit as he tries to stretch out and outdistance the defenders. That you've got to be careful with. Ball gets hit, squirts out. The big gain is negated, and Detroit scrambles to gain possession.
Lem Barney stripped the ball. The pass play was good for 45 yards before Haggins lost the ball. Then it caroms into the end zone as the Lions knocked it in there. Ruled a safety. The impetus of the ball coming off that fumble, and James Hunter was the man who came up with the ball for Detroit. They have it first and 10 at their 20 when we come back. That's as good really as a long punt, though, for Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Yes,
stay around here long enough, you'll see everything.
He was very relaxed, trying to get his arm motion going. But when there's people around you just can't do it. But this comes with experience. He'll learn something from that stripping of the ball there by Barney.
Yeah, they got the biggest coaches around. Look at that guy.
He'll go 200 today easily. Can't one 200-yard day.
Got some leapers and some jumpers on the sideline here. We've got some spectacular, almost unbelievable plays on the field. Stay around here long enough, you're liable to see anything in this football game. The Lions have the ball, first and 10 at their 20. Tampa Bay leads in the third quarter 7-3. Kane doesn't get a thing. Dewey Selman got him, number 61. If Dewey didn't get him, Leroy was right there to pop him.
That was almost a suicidal type play. As a running back, I never wanted to run alone. I always wanted some bodyguards out front, but that time Detroit faked one way and sent Kane backside by himself, totally alone.
We have 7:33 left to play in the third quarter. Tampa Bay led at the half 7-0. The Lions put their first points up a short time ago on a 47-yard field goal by Steve Nickemeyer. J.D. Hill comes wide to the left. Wide to the either side now. So now we got a timeout as the Lions are misaligned. And they're hearing a lot of boos here today, Emerson.
Yes, they are. Detroit, their fans have been down on them all week here, I'd say for about 2 weeks. But this week I've noticed that they've been very vocal and booing the Detroit Lions and actually cheering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A tough way to play at home.
Walter Payton, having a sensational game at Chicago, has run with the ball, as you see, 34 times for 192 yards. That game is still in the third quarter. A question for you. Would the United States betray a man who risked his life to help our country? Well, a former CIA agent says that we did that to thousands and then tried to cover it up. That's tonight on 60 Minutes here on CBS.
A few years ago, Don, while I was still active, I got a chance to see some film clip on Walter Payton while he was down at Jackson State. And I went in literally in the offseason and asked the Jets if they had any #1 draft choices to give up to clubs ahead of them and take this kid called Walter Payton, easily the best in the country. Didn't believe it.
Well, he's proven himself in the pros, too. And right now, he was the best in the country then. Not too many people were sure of it. Here is a hard run and an equally hard hit, and substantially we get very little gained out of it. Dave Pearce sprinted across from the middle guard position, made the hit, number 76 from the University of Washington. The Bills and the Patriots now in the third quarter. John Smith just hit his second field goal for the Patriots, and they lead 6-0. Buffalo playing New England tough. A lot of the 2 o'clock game starting now. Big one at St. Louis. The Philadelphia Eagles going against the Cardinals. The team's really starting to come on. 3rd and 9 for Detroit. Danielson gets it away. Ball was dropped. Incomplete pass is ruled. Fortunately for the Lions, because Dave Lewis was headed for the end zone.
It's the kind of thing that Detroit has to do, because Tampa Bay is covering well downfield, plus the fact that both Joe Reed and Danielson have been intercepted twice, so they are a little reluctant to take the ball downfield too deep. So what they're trying to do is throw underneath in front of the linebackers.
Danny Reese is back deep for Tampa Bay. There's Wilbur Summers, averaging 43 yards an attempt in this game. He's hit the ball well. This, of course, is a dome stadium. Pouring rain outside. Danny Reese down at the 46-yard line, a 38-yard punt. And so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come out of this with relatively good field position.
You'd rather start right here, not having only about 55.
Buck. They're on him, huh? There is Tommy Hudspeth, who joined the Lions back in 1974 as a pro scout, was promoted to coordinator of personnel and scouting. Now the head coach with a problem as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead 7-3 in the third quarter and have the ball 1st and 10. That's the same play that Ricky Bell gained 20 yards on earlier. I think they're going to be running more Emerson right at Detroit rather than try to go wide against those quick linebackers.
Detroit's strength is in their linebacking core, even though they protect well and rush well with that defensive line. The reason I say protect is that the defensive linemen are to protect those three linebackers that are sitting back there. If they can't get to the play, hopefully the linebackers will clean it up if they're doing their job.
John McKay comes wide to the left. Morris Owens is wide to the right. Jeb Blunt has had men deep in this game and has come close to hitting him for the distance. Anthony Davis at 190 cannot overpower those big Detroit Lions who knock him down for no gain at the 50. Third down and 7 coming up. Ed O'Neill, the middle linebacker, and Herb Orvis, the left tackle, on the stop for Detroit.
That has to be a little bit disgusting watching Anthony run through his collegiate days. Today, he just cannot get away, cannot get a little peep crack. Ricky Bell has done a little bit better, though, at 48 yards and 12 attempts.
Jim Laslovic now goes in the game as a fourth linebacker on 3rd and long yardage. Look at the Lions line up. They got 11 men in the line of scrimmage. They're trying to throw some knuckleballs at Jeb Blunt. Now they drop off. He puts it up. Intercepted. Ball is intercepted by Dick Geron, the free safety, and taken back to the 44-yard line of Detroit. And there the Lions going offense 1st and 10. This is some wild football game. My goodness, there's a lot more coming, too. We're going to be back in a moment. We have 4:51 to play in the 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay holding to a 7-3 lead. The Lions have the ball back. Back at the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan, the Lions got the ball back as Dick Geron has a fumble recovery and now an interception for Detroit. Gary Danielson is the quarterback. Tampa Bay 7, Detroit 3, 3rd quarter. Marv Hubbard running hard, crashes out to the 50-yard line. And Tampa Bay's David Lewis, 2nd round choice of the Buccaneers, made the hit 57 on your program. Dave Lewis, a Southern California linebacker. There are 7 USC players in the Tampa Bay roster. Danielson getting the plays here as Jarvis coming in the game.
The Lions they want to try to keep the ball on the ground here, is evident here in the 3rd quarter, so they can try to both work against that clock and eat up as much as they can and get a final score to stay on top of this thing. But it doesn't have to work. We'll watch as it unfolds.
Now Danielson sees a defense he doesn't like, and he has to call a timeout. They boo him, but this is a young quarterback who doesn't want to make a critical turnover. He's played good football for Detroit since he came in. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers only led once before in a regular NFL game. That was the Saturday night game against the Minnesota Vikings. They led 3-2 at one point in that game before losing to the Vikings. Of course, they lead in this game 7-3. Ricky Bell on the bench with Anthony Davis, and tonight, Celebrity Challenge of the Sexes. That's here on CBS at 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. You'll see some of the top performers in network television in various matchups. As Brent was talking at halftime, it's the guys against the gals. And you'll see some really outstanding names in show business. Farrah Fawcett Majors will be there. Valerie Perrine, Christy McNichol, Gabe Kaplan, all tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern time here on CBS. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have intercepted Detroit quarterbacks 3 times in this game. They've also recovered a fumble. Gary Danielson, the 2nd Detroit quarterback in today. Joe Reed started, did nothing for the Lions. Tampa Bay's defense has played very tough football, though. There's a lot of pressure on these quarterbacks, particularly from the right side of the line, Leroy Selman. Danielson, here's the big rush. He gets it away again. It's complete to Rick Kane. It's not enough for a first down. It'll bring up 3rd and short yardage, though. Danielson eludes the rush again. Those Buccaneers were pouring through, but he got away.
Detroit has been inept in picking up the blitz. That time, Cecil Johnson, number 56, came from the backside as both backs for Detroit had moved away, giving a clear shot at Danielson.
Ball is down to the 46-yard line now, Tampa Bay. Clock is running. 3:38 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Danielson swings it out. Dave Hill, the tight end, has the ball. And Hill is all the way down to the 30 before he's run down by Richard Wood. So the Lions move it again, and Danielson's the guy that's got him cooking.
Good play by Richard Wood, even though Hill had a big gain. Richard came in after making the tackle. Watch down number 54, Richard Wood. Once he makes the tackle, he tries to strip Hill of the football. He reaches around, rather than just tackling, he bangs down. Here, there he goes. That right arm trying to get a hold of that football.
A 16-yard gain. The average yardage for an NFL team in the game is 283 yards, you might be interested to know. The Lions have not reached that mark in their last 7 games. In fact, in their last 4, the Lions have averaged only 162 yards. Rick Kane goes down to the 30, and that's all, as lots of Buccaneers are there to get him. On a first down carry, he got very, very little. Might be a Tampa Bay fan. There's some of them here. I think some Detroit Lion fans have switched over.
I think she's smiling because the camera's on her, Tom. If not, she's a Tampa Bay fan.
Rick Kane, the running back who carried 30 times last week against Atlanta, has run with the ball 11 times today for the Detroit Lions. He's gained with 14 yards against this Buccaneer defense. 1:58 to go in the 3rd quarter. Tampa Bay 7, Detroit 3. Danielson takes a look, puts a home run ball up. And the ball is knocked away very nicely by Jarris White, who might have been fouled. J.D. Hill pushed off, but no flag went down.
That could have been easily called interference in the end zone, because Jarris.
Let's watch it again now from the end zone.
Watch down into the end zone, into the right corner here, the left corner of your screen. Number 45, Jarris White, reaches over the back, and normally when this happens, it's an interference call. That could have been interference.
Not much 3rd down efficiency, is there? 3rd and almost 10 for Detroit. Swing pass to Dave Hill. First down. He's down to the 12-yard line. Big Dave Hill, a second-year tight end from Texas A&I, is finally knocked down by Cedric Brown.
Mr. Hill is pretty nifty. That's the 2nd time that he's caught the ball when there was a defender around him. Gives a little step, gets around, and takes off. Watch it again. It's nifty footwork here by Dave Hill, the tight end, number 81. The left of your screen. Evades one tackler. Now he takes off. Good maneuvering.
Boy, there's a real dive block tackle.
End up getting leg whipped to take him down.
And Marv Hubbard gets ahead for about 1.5 yards, and that's all. The big back from the Oakland Raiders. 7-3, the count still stands. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading the Detroit Lions, but Detroit challenging now. They have the only points of the second half, the Lions do, on a 47-yard field goal by Mickemeyer. And now they have 2nd down and 8 coming up from just outside the 10-yard line of Tampa Bay. Danielson, naked reverse. He didn't get in, but he did get a first down. First down for the Lions at the 1-yard line of Tampa Bay. Cecil Johnson caught him. Danielson's been the difference in the Detroit comeback.
They call this around the league a sucker play. You might watch everybody pulling away. There goes Dewey with the rest of the line. Leroy, rather. Now Danielson tries to get into the end zone.
And the gun sounds. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7, the Detroit Lions 3, but challenging. And we now pause for a word from your local station. And hello to you here in Pontiac, Michigan, as we have quite a football game on our hands. This is Don Criqui with Emerson Boozer. As the Lions are now challenging for the go-ahead points, they have it first and goal from point-blank range at the 1.
This is where it gets tough, and if there is a toughness about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is on their defense, that they can play very well.
This is unbelievable. The Detroit quarterback can't quiet his own crowd down. Rick Kane, touchdown Detroit. So the rookie from San Jose State rips it in. The Lions go 55 yards in 9 plays. The big gainer, a 17-yard run on a naked reverse by the quarterback. And the Lions take the lead early in the fourth quarter, the first play of the fourth quarter.
Sheer power here by the Detroit Lions, as they knew that they had to get the football into the end zone with John Morris pulling out, Lynn Bowden rather, pulling out in front of Kane, getting the ball inside. Just a little Thanksgiving Day stuffing 5 days ahead of time.
Steve Mickemeyer will try to point after. Gary Danielson will hold. 2-point difference right now, 9-7. Danielson looks into the end zone, just throws a hope up. So it's a 9-7 game, and Tampa Bay could take the lead back with a field goal. This might not be the most artistic excellence you're going to see in a football field. It's certainly interesting, a lot of things going on out there. Through 3 quarters of play, Detroit has 175 yards total offense. Tampa Bay 79, but it's a 9-7 game Detroit now.
They're probably going to give some of these.
All right, great. Yeah, thank you. Atlanta leads again.
10-7.
Miami leads. Marvelous.
Come on, Anthony, let's go.
Buffalo leads.
Come on, Davis, run it back. Go, Davis, take it back, baby.
That's how the Detroit Lions did it, going 55 yards in 9 plays, and they lead the game 9-7 after a botched extra point. Isaac Haggins and Danny Reese are back. Anthony Davis will not bring it out of the end zone. And so it will be a touchback, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will go on offense 1st and 10 at their 20 as they trail for the first time in the game now early in the 4th quarter. The 4th quarter is but 10 seconds old. Lots of other scores coming in from around the NFL. We'll get to those. We want to remind you that on Thursday, next Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, you'll see the Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions right here at the Pontiac Silverdome. That's at 12 noon Eastern Time. Oh, Jeb Blunt throws the ball out looking for Lewis Carter, who was swinging out of the backfield and there was a little too much on it. And so it will be 2nd down and 10 for Tampa Bay.
Detroit has to show their stuff right here. Getting down into the 4th quarter, if you're going to tighten up, it has to be now and not let the Tampa Bay offense, which has not done much today, even though they have scored 7 points. But Detroit has to really tighten the screws here on Tampa Bay if they're going to win the ballgame.
John McKay comes wide to the right. Morris Owens is on the left flank. Tight end is Nafziger, set to the left. Jeb Blount gives off. Lewis Carter breaks tackles and fights his way out to the 25-yard line. Lewis Carter on a 2nd down carry got a hit for 5 yards. Is going to bring up 3rd down and 5. Dick Brown, the free safety, number 26, was on the hit for the Lions. And the clock runs in the 4th quarter. 14:27 to play in the game. Detroit trailing 7-0 at the half has come back to lead now in the 4th quarter, 9-7. That mixed extra point could be a very big factor in this game if Tampa Bay can get field goal range. Jeb Blount, hands off. Ricky Bell runs with the ball and turns the corner, did not get the 1st down. Bell is 6'2", 220 pounds, has very good speed, as is illustrated there, but could not turn the corner in time to get upfield for the 1st down. So Tampa Bay has to punt it back for Lions. Here's some scores coming in. Cincinnati's just scored on a 3rd field goal by Chris Barr to lead Miami in the 3rd quarter, 16-14. Greasy's thrown for both Dolphins scores. New England has just gone in front of Buffalo, 13-7. Bills took the lead on a touchdown pass from Joe Ferguson, but New England has come back to take the lead. Baltimore is leading the Jets 19-3. Eddie Payton is back deep. Green hits a line drive deep downfield. Payton is hemmed in. Penalty marker is down. And Payton is out to the 42-yard line, but there is a penalty marker down and very probably a clipping penalty against the Lions on the return, which would set them back still further. Reisig was down to make the play on special teams for Tampa Bay.
Payton, watching Eddie Payton. We'll hold off here.
That's it, a clip against Detroit.
As I was saying, there are 2 kinds of runners on returns, returning kickoffs and punts, and even out of the backfield. Eddie is the kind of guy that wants to stop and go, stop and go. Some coaches don't like that kind of runner, a stop and go runner. They want a player to feel that ball, take off, get what we can get right now. I noticed the same thing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneer offensive backs. They are pick and choose type runners.
Here's Cal Lepore.
Personal foul, clipping, the 1st down.
Well, as Mike went out in time that the guilty party was hidden from the public view, just his name was verbally. So we have on the clock 13:48 left to play, and the Lions hold to a 2-point lead, which they got on the opening play of the 4th quarter when they scored their touchdown. Danielson still in at quarterback. He's played well for the Lions. Tampa Bay comes out hit. Dewey Selman shoots the gap and makes the hard hit. Running with the ball was Rick Kane for the Lions.
Dewey Selman is some football player. He's a load as a linebacker, too. He's big enough, really, to play down as a down lineman down at 6'2", 250 pounds. He could go with a 4-3 type defense, but having a stand-up linebacker that big, he is awfully tough.
He sure is. Dewey Selman and Leroy Selman, the Selman brothers from Oklahoma, from Eufaula, Oklahoma. Marv Hubbard is now in his fullback. He is the up back in the eye. Danielson takes a look. Gets the ball away, and he was hit hard by Dave Pear just as he released it. Walter Payton keeps piling up impressive numbers at Chicago. 38 carries, 268 yards. Still in the fourth quarter. He is the offense of the Chicago Bears today. Bears leading that game 10-7 over Minnesota. Third down and 7 coming up for the Lions. Tampa Bay needing to get back to football as they now trail by 2, 9-7. A lot of time left. 13:04 to go. Danielson. Here comes Leroy Selman. Rick Kane fumbled the ball. Ruled incomplete. It is ruled an incomplete pass. Richard Wood, your old teammate with the Jets, Emerson, picks it up. But it is ruled an incomplete pass to Marv Hubbard. And so now Detroit will have to punt the ball back to Tampa Bay as Danny Reese drops back deep.
Marv really didn't have the ball long enough to be called a fumble because as soon as he got it, he started to run and the ball slipped down between his legs. And it's got to be difficult to run when you try to find the ball between your legs.
Coming into this game, the Lions and the Buccaneers both were guilty of having their quarterback sacked 38 times. Only Washington, if you can believe that, had it more. High punt by Wilbur Summers. Reese eludes tacklers. Danny Reese gets it out to the 43-yard line. A 40-yard punt by Wilbur Summers. He is a second-year player from Louisville. And so on the sideline, John McKay looks down. Is quarterback Gary Huff, who's down with an injury, in street clothes, looking on. We'll be back in a moment. What record is that?
Michigan State High School Football Championship will be played here at the Chicago coming Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Gerald Irons, a Cleveland linebacker, just returned an interception 55 yards for a touchdown. That gave the Browns the lead in the third quarter, 14-7 in New Jersey over the Giants. We have 12:46 left to play in the game here at Pontiac, Michigan. Tampa Bay with the ball. First and 10, trailing by 2 points. Ricky Bell runs. Almost a late hit from Hunter. Gain of only a couple of yards on the play. Ed O'Neill, the middle linebacker, 55 was on the stop. Newmoff, O'Neill, and Weaver back the line for Detroit. Up front linemen Woodcock, Orvis, English, and Mitchell. Philadelphia, surprise leader over St. Louis. They're playing at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The Eagles with a team much better than their current record, 3-6. They come close every week, just come up short. Blunt, timing pattern. Very nearly picked off. James Hunter had his hands in the ball. Going for the football on the out pattern was Morris Owens. We're told that Walter Payton has broken the one-game rushing record of O.J. Simpson, 273 yards, set here against the Lions. Walter Payton has rushed for 275 yards already today and 40 carries. He's not done yet.
He is some runner.
Not that big either. He's only about 190, 194.
190, but very strong, quick.
Third down and 8. Tampa Bay need to get the ball downfield. They'll probably throw it. All-out blitz. Timing pattern is downfield, and the coverage is good by Hunter. The Lions came with a blitz, and Hunter stayed right with his man, Morris Owens, who's running the deep pattern, and so the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fail to get a first down.
James Hunter could become a defensive game breaker for the Detroit Lions, just as Lombardi was a few years ago, both returning punts and making interceptions on the corner out there. It was strictly man-to-man coverage, and as you could see, Hunter had him step by step.
Dave Green is standing back inside his 30-yard line, back deep for Detroit. This is Dave Green's 8th punt, incidentally. Eddie Payton, his brother's having the record day at Chicago. Well hit ball by Green. He's angling it. Whoa! Payton at his 10. Right into his own guys. Still alive. Finally, Eddie Payton goes down at the 20. He looked like a goner back at the 10, but somehow Emerson got away.
Yeah, he's a water bug. He keeps slipping and moving, trying to find a way, but just couldn't get much.
A 43-yard punt, and the Lions, holding to a 2-point lead over winless Tampa Bay, have the ball back. What do we have here, sir?
Marvin, you got to tell her next time to stand.
Mike Livingston just threw for a touchdown for Kansas City, and they've tied Denver 7-7 in the second quarter. First and 10, Lions at their 20. Eddie Payton. Net head on, and Eddie Payton goes down hard. Council Rudolph, number 78, in his 6th year from Kentucky State. Made the big play for Tampa Bay. No gain. Actually, a loss of a half yard will make it second and a long 10 for Detroit. Other scores coming in from around the league. Burt Jones has just thrown to Glenn Dowdy. And the Colts lead the Jets 19-3. That game in the second quarter. If the Jets had led at the outset 3-0. Marv Hubbard and Eddie Payton are the setbacks for the Lions. Hubbard running hard. He only got about a yard. Mike Washington came up to make a hit. Also on the play was Richard Wood. 40 and 54. Two hard-hitting defensive players for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Come in with a hard shots, and the clock winds down. Time not a factor too much yet. 10:40 left to play. The Buccaneers need the ball back. The Lions looking to keep those chain markers moving by grinding out the first downs and running the clock down as Detroit has a 2-point lead, 9-7.
Both clubs are getting tough. Tampa Bay's trying to keep them right there where they are. They have the ball about the 20.
Here's Rick Kane on a power sweep. Jarris White hems him in and knocks him out of bounds. It is not a first down, and again Reese comes out of the field as a deep back to look for the Detroit punt. Clock is stopped with 10:12 to play. Tampa Bay is going to need, I think, Emerson, one of those big pass plays they came so close on connecting earlier in the game when Morris Owens and Isaac Haggins got deep.
They haven't done that well rushing the football, so I'd say when they want to move the ball, they're going to have to throw it, and they haven't done too bad in throwing the football.
Brown is 4 of 10 for 56 yards. He's been intercepted once. He's very close to hitting those long ones. High punt by Wilbur Summers. Ball comes down with almost no motion on it. Danny Reese is hit and knocked down at the 47-yard line. (9-7) is the score, as you see. The CBS Sports Spectacular coming up next Saturday. And then next Sunday we have the NFL doubleheader. Atlanta plays Tampa Bay in Florida at Tampa Stadium. The Rams and the Browns go at Cleveland. The Giants versus Cincinnati at Cincinnati. Philadelphia's at New England next Sunday, and the Vikings and the Packers play at Green Bay. And of course the doubleheader games here on CBS. You'll see Washington and Dallas, two arch rivals, meet in the nation's capital. New Orleans will be playing at San Francisco in another doubleheader game. Look for the game or games in your area, as Danny Reese, the punt return specialist for the Buccaneers, is down right now. It looked like he was clothesline returning the punt. Scores coming in. Atlanta's now going back in front of New Orleans 13-7. Bartkowski threw a touchdown pass to Al Jenkins, and now Steinford has kicked the field goal. All of a sudden we have an update. Atlanta's moved in front of New Orleans 20-7. They're playing at the Superdome in New Orleans, as Greg Landry, helpless on the sidelines, can do nothing but impart information to the young quarterback in there in his stead. Gary Danielson, as Landry is out with a knee injury this week. Now, unfortunately, they're bringing a stretcher out to attend to Danny Reese. Fortunately, he's getting up. He's starting to get up, so that's great to see. But he took a hard rap in the head, and they want him to relax a little bit. 10:03 left to play in the game. They're going to put Danny Reese in the stretcher. He wanted to get up, but they're going to not risk any further injury to him, and so they're going to help him off. Hate to see that stretcher come out.
It's the kind of thing that even both sidelines will tend to shudder a little bit, even though the ball game is tight. Well-played ball game to this point. A lot of mistakes have not been made. They're beginning to hit. Coming down the stretch, anything can happen, but that kind of thing neither club wants to see.
So Danny Reese has being helped from the field now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with 10:03 to play in the game. On a punt return, we'll watch it back now. You can see the hard hit he took.
He tries to cover up, too. He knows that he's in trouble. Tries to evade. Here it all comes. Saw the punishment coming, tried to protect himself, got hit right in the back behind the head.
Great play. Jeb Blunt guns the ball over the middle. Actually, that's Randy Hedberg who's in the game now, the young rookie quarterback from Minot State. And he throws a timing pattern that works quite nicely.
Well done here. Jeb Blunt tried the same play before, went for a long yardage. This time, Hedberg comes right back with it and is successful.
Morris Owens on the receiving end. So it's a first down for Tampa Bay as they look to get in field goal range. 9:30 to play. Second back through is Anthony Davis inside the 40. Davis is down to the 32-yard line. He has another Tampa Bay first down. Ed O'Neill knocked him down, but the Buccaneers come out smoking now.
That has to make Anthony Davis happy because he had a chance to get a little running room. He finds it, stop and go, takes off. Now let's see what we can do with it. He has to be happy with that move. Give it to me again. I'm sure he's saying in the huddle. I'm ready to roll.
Here's the final score in. Chicago has defeated Minnesota 10-7, so that gives the Lions a lot of incentive. Tampa Bay trailing by 2 in the fourth quarter and moving the ball right now. Ricky Bell runs it up the middle as these Buccaneers are fired up. One of their number taken off the field, injured Danny Reese. And now the Buccaneers run the ball right at the Detroit Lions. Charlie Weaver and Ed O'Neill made the hit on Ricky Bell, but the ball is down to the 26-yard line. And the Buccaneers are in field goal range.
Don, it's good to see Randy Hedberg out playing again because he suffered a slight concussion early in the year, and it took him some while to get over it. And it's that as of this week, his head was still not clear, so evidently he's cleared it up.
Second down and 4. It's shifting to an eye. Anthony Davis knocked down for a loss on the play. Back to the 28-yard line. Doug English, number 78, spun off the block and made the hit. Randy Hedberg was playing regularly earlier in the season. He has completed 17 of 54 coming into the game. And right now, a big down coming up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3rd down and 6 is coming up from the 28-yard line of Detroit. We have 7 minutes and 57 seconds left to play in the game. The clock is running. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, winless so far in the NFL, trailing by just 2 points. Let's see what Randy Hedberg does. The Lions put 11 men up again. They might be coming with a blitz.
I think it might have been some debris thrown on the football field behind the Lions defensive set.
Aha, we didn't see a flag go down, so it wasn't a delay of game that we know of. Tampa Bay still has 2 seconds on the 30-second clock to get a play off. Randy Hedberg now wants to go over, and he's calling a timeout. The Lions only have 1 timeout remaining here in the second half, and it appears that Tampa Bay now has 2 as they just took one. The CBS Sports Spectacular features a premier NASCAR event. The Los Angeles Times 500, included in the field is A.J. Foyt. You'll also see the world's strongest men competition, as this week the American strongmen pick up young ladies. Each guy's going to try to pick up 2 110-pound girls in addition to 265 pounds of equipment. That's 486 pounds. Gym weights will be added to each platform, and then a countdown to Super Bowl, a special preview of what might be expected for the playoffs. Brent Musburger will take a look at the first 10 weeks of the NFL season, the races to date, the schedule of the final 4 weekends, which teams will contend for playoff spots and wild card entries, and you'll also take a look at some of the more controversial plays during this 1977 season. That's next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Cleveland is now putting the Giants to rout as the Browns have scored on a Warfield reception. Dave Mays hit Paul Warfield. It's 21-7 Cleveland. So a big down now for young Randy Hedberg and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3rd down and 6 coming up at the 28-yard line of Detroit. Lions lead 9-7, 4th quarter. Hedberg's going to run, but he's not going to get there. So Randy Hedberg took a page from the Gary Danielson playbook. You recall his 17-yard run down to the 1-yard line that was shortly thereafter turned into Detroit's only touchdown of the game. But Hedberg didn't get there, and now it's 4th down, and now the field goal team is out. Alan Levitt is on the field. He is the field goal kicker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alan Levitt is a rookie from the University of Georgia. Dave Green will hold. The set down will be at the 35, a 45-yard attempt. Tampa Bay's first field goal try of the day. Going to be short. Field goal is short. With 6:51 to play, the Lions get the ball back.
That was a close one, even though it was the first time for Tampa Bay in attempting a field goal. They needed it right there to possibly tie the Detroit Lions, but they didn't. The Lions have held.
So now the Lions get the ball back, leading by 2 points, 9-7. 6:51 to go in the game. Coming up Wednesday night, Once Upon a Brothers Grimm, a magical trip to the fairy tale world of the Brothers Grimm here on CBS. That's with Dean Jones and Paul Sand. It's at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 Central and Mountain. Once Upon a Brothers Grimm on CBS next Wednesday night. Rick Kane breaks into open field, and Kane is across the 50 and run out of bounds on the far side inside the 45-yard line of Tampa Bay. They might spot him out of bounds a little bit earlier.
This makes any offensive unit happy. A trap play. Kane gets into the hole very quickly, and it's out to the outside. But the amazing thing about it, he gets at this point here, and he still loses the football. Had it been open field, he'd have caught that football up.
So the Lions now, after Tampa Bay drove down and get the field goal attempt, it did not come up. So the Lions hold their 2-point lead. 6:43 to play in the game. They go to Kane, as apparently Emerson, the Lions now want to just run that clock. Grind out the offense and keep the clock moving. It's down to 6:30 and running.
This is a power type play here. Watching number 32, Rick Kane here, getting behind Marv Hubbard there. And that offensive line coming over Len Bowden. And he just simply drives, gets his body leaning forward, and pushes his way for 4 or 5 yards.
Detroit wins this game. They'll only be 1 game behind the Minnesota Vikings in the Central Division.
So would the Chicago Bears, having beaten the Vikings today.
Marv Hubbard runs ahead and runs hard. It looks like he has a first down for the Lions. Marv Hubbard crashed down close to the 38-yard line of Tampa Bay. Richard Wood was on the stop for the Buccaneers. An official timeout with 5:49 left to play.
This one might be close enough to measure, but it looks as though from here that he has it.
He has it.
First down for the Lions.
Another big show coming up Wednesday night on CBS, the George Burns one-man show. He's got a lot of help there, and some great talent it is. People like Bob Hope will be with him, and Margaret, Gladys Knight and the Pips, the captain and Tennille. That's all Wednesday night at 10 Eastern time here on CBS. Tampa Bay has the ball. Cecil Johnson, a rookie from Pittsburgh, recovered the fumble of Marv Hubbard. And so it is not over yet for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 5:27 left to play in the game, and they have it back at their 40.
I don't know whether Hubbard got the ball or not on the exchange. As we look on right here, it looks as though he has it. Now he tries to move outside. He gets stuck. It was knocked out of his hand. Couldn't have had a pretty good grip on it. I can't see it was Selman that got a hand on it. Leroy Selman, they got a hand on the ball, knocked it away from Marv Hubbard. And good field position for the Buccaneers. Cecil Johnson, who played on a national championship team at the University of Pittsburgh a season ago, made the recovery. So now it's 1st and 10 with Hedberg at quarterback. 5:27 to play. Ricky Bell turns to the outside, and he is caught and run down at the 40. Gained only about a yard. Tampa Bay has to hit the pass. Reggie Pinckney, Emerson, came up to make the stop for the Detroit Lions, rookie defensive back. Even though Ricky Bell didn't get that much yardage on the play, he is now running with the kind of authority that he should have been running with all along. Ricky Bell has 59 yards and 16 carries for Tampa Bay. There's big Ed O'Neill, the middle linebacker for the Lions. Morris Owens going for the ball in out pattern. O'Neill was coming on a blitz, and the quarterback for the Buccaneers, Hedberg, had to trigger the ball quickly. As you saw, it was underthrown. It stops the clock with 4:46 to play, but it brings up a 3rd down and 9 now for Tampa Bay. A big play. They're going to have to reach back now and see if they can throw the football, see if Hedberg can throw the football, because they haven't run the football that well. In 3rd down situation, I'm sure the Lions will bring on the blitz and see how Mr. Hedberg can handle it. You know that's coming. He's got to get enough of a drop to release the ball. 4-man rush. Cross him up. He gets it away. It's caught for a first down. But there's a penalty marker down. In the Tampa Bay backfield, the ball was caught by Anthony Davis for a first down of the 50. So we might have a holding call against Tampa Bay. That is going to go against Tampa Bay. The play comes back. Great throw by Hedberg. Anthony Davis took the pass at the 50. He just had enough for the first down. He was hit hard, but held on. I see why Coach McKay has a full head of gray hair. It didn't happen here in Tampa Bay, though.
Illegal use of the hands. 7-0 offense. third down.
I got lost there for a second.
We didn't get the number. There was breakup on his mic. But it was a penalty against Tampa Bay, and so now it is third down coming up and about 19 yards to go for the first down. Detroit trying to cross up the young rookie quarterback. Again coming a four-man rush. Hedberg has time. He gets it away. Oh, Anthony Davis had the ball, or no, it was Dana Knopfsinger, the tight end, had the ball in his hands and lost it at the 31. And so the Buccaneers will have to punt the ball back to Detroit with 4:25 left to play. And Detroit,
it's amazing that he stood up that long because Detroit was all around. Tampa Bay rallied to come back and give him a little help. Got the ball away, but Knopfsinger just couldn't hold on, and it wouldn't have been enough for a first down.
Eddie Payton goes back deep. There is Dave Green ready to hit the ball for a 9th time for Tampa Bay. Fourth down coming up. Lions 9, Tampa Bay 7. 4:25 to play in the game. Great punt by Green. Payton lets it roll. And it hops into the end zone. A 70-yard punt by Dave Green. Just a little bit longer than he would have liked.
Eddie Payton did what he should have done before when he had that great run, getting it back to the 20. Anytime that ball is over your head at the 10-yard line, you take your chances and let it roll into the end zone.
A big 60-minute show coming up tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time here on CBS. A former CIA agent says that the United States betrayed thousands of people who risked their lives to help our country and then tried to cover it up. You'll hear more about that tonight on 60 Minutes here on CBS at 7 Eastern time. New England has beaten Buffalo 20-7. Rick Kane runs with the ball as Tampa Bay's defense now digging in, looking to get it back. They've gotten 5 turnovers from the Lions today. 2 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions, but they need another one as the clock is winding. 3:57 left to play. Detroit leading by but 2 points, but the Lions, as you see, have possession of the ball. There's that final in from Orchard Park, New York. The Patriots winning. They are 6-4 on the year. Don't forget Dallas and Pittsburgh, the doubleheader game today on CBS. Handoff doesn't get much. Tampa Bay is quickly on Rick Kane, knocking him down just across the 25. But most importantly at this point for the Lions, the clock is running.
Tampa Bay is digging in. They know that they've got to stop the Detroit Lions, especially on the ground. They're beginning to move the ball, inching closer to a first down, third and some yardage here, but they've got to stand up right here, force them to punt the football, and hopefully get a drive going to score 3 points or possibly a touchdown themselves.
Third down and 4 for Detroit. Danielson is sacked back at the 21. 2:48 left to go. And Detroit has to punt the ball back to Tampa Bay.
Detroit has done what they've done all day. When the quarterback rolls away, they're leaving backside uncovered. So Tampa Bay is simply countering with Cecil Johnson, number 56. He's free to come on in and chase that quarterback.
Tampa Bay calls a timeout, stopping the clock with 2:48 to play. So the Buccaneers only have 1 timeout remaining. Coming up next from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys, 2 of the powerhouse teams in the National Football League. That's the doubleheader game here on CBS. This is Don Criqui with Emerson Boozer at Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. Tampa Bay winless in the NFL throughout the brief history of this team, leading at the half today 7-0. Trailing now in the 4th quarter 9-7. Tampa Bay is going to get the ball back, and Isaac Haggins is back to return the punt. Danny Reese, the regular punt returner, was injured earlier. Wilbur Summers dropping back. There is Tommy Hudspeth, the head coach of the Lions. A very tight game. His team would be but one game behind the Vikings in the Central Division if they win this one. High punt. It takes a dead hop and is down by the Lions at the Tampa Bay 47-yard line. Garth Tenepo came down the punt, a linebacker out of Texas A&M, number 57, coming off the field for the Lions. And that's how it stands with 2:39 left to play. And here is the guy whose right arm has to be the factor if Tampa Bay is to get back in it.
Not bad field position, Don. Start at the 54 or 53. I'd like to start there. I'm sure every quarterback or offensive coordinator would love to see his unit start almost at midfield.
Whistle blows before the snap was away.
Costly mistake here by the...
May we have some cooperation?
See, no penalty marker down. Apparently
We're not throwing
there's a lot of debris being thrown on the field by alleged fans. And that's why play had to be halted there. Small ball, rubber ball was thrown on the field.
That could cause someone to break their necks. Dangerous.
Let's see what the play is now, Emerson, as we have Tampa Bay coming up 1st and 10. The ball at their 46-yard line is where it's spotted. 2:39 left to play in the game. Detroit 9, Tampa Bay 7. Officials aren't done yet. Now we're ready to go as Tampa Bay huddles yet again. Think they might try to burn them deep. It's tough to throw early, though, and then be on long yardage where the Lions know it's coming.
Looking at their formation before someone threw a ball onto the field, they were set into a passing type offense, even though you can run out with one setback. Man in motion, it was a passing formation. What will happen, we'll have to wait and see. I'd say throw it.
Philadelphia very much in command of the St. Louis Cardinals in the third quarter, 16-0. Jaworski has just passed for a second touchdown. This one to Charles Smith. He also hit Harold Carmichael. So the Cardinals, who've won 5 in a row, are way behind on their home field. Hedberg takes a look. Oh, that's a tough down. Intentional grounding. That's loss of down and 15 yards. That's about as tough a penalty as there is in the game, other than ejection.
You really can't fault the offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they've done a pretty good job thus far. He sets back in the pocket. Give Detroit a lot of credit because they were covering well downfield. And then Hedberg makes the mistake of just trying to unload the football.
So the clock is stopped with 2:32 left to play in the game. Intentional grounding is automatic loss of down in addition to a 15-yard penalty. And that is what has been stepped off.
Forward pass, intentional grounding, offense, have a loss of down.
So now it's 2nd and 25. That's a whole lot of difference there.
Very costly. You lose yardage, plus you lose the down.
Hedberg lets it rip. Nafziger, the tight end, has it. Dana Nafziger was down at the 44-yard line. He got back the penalty yardage, got back 14 of it anyway. That'll bring up 3rd down and 11 now for Tampa Bay. Charlie Weaver and Ed O'Neill, two linebackers dropping back in pass coverage, were on the hit. And the clock shows 2:17 left to play in the game. We'll look at that again.
By Nafziger, it's a pattern going down, turning inside the linebackers because they're sitting kind of deep back. You go down and get as much yardage as you can, but the most important thing here, as Detroit tries to wrestle them down, they go for the football. There'll be more of that, whether it's a pass or a run play in the closing 2 minutes.
3rd down and actually about 12 to go for the 1st down. Hedberg gets it away. Intercepted. The ball is picked off by the Detroit Lions and is going to go for a touchdown. Coming down is Reggie Pinckney, the rookie from East Carolina. picks it off and returns it for a touchdown.
That kind of burst the bubble for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had high hopes of moving the ball downfield. Hedberg had time, couldn't find a receiver, now throws across the field. The kind of thing you really shouldn't do if it's not by design. Pinckney steps in front, and it's all green in front until he reaches the blue. 6 points for the Lions.
So now Steve Mickemeyer in this dramatic turn of events will try the point after. That was a 48-yard interception, the subsequent return for a touchdown. And a rookie has a great moment here in Detroit. Mickemeyer hits the extra point, and it's a 15-7 game with 1:55 to play.
That's Pinckney's second interception of the season, Don. I'm sure he has to be a happy man.
We're going to have a pause in the action. When we come back, it'll be Mickemeyer kicking off to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they'll be firing for all they're worth. Our producer, Bill Barnes, informs us that Jeb Blunt, Emerson, left the game because of a shoulder injury. That's why Randy Hedberg came in for him.
That almost went unnoticed.
There's Gary Danielson, who is very likely going to be the backup quarterback here at Detroit behind Greg Lander if he returns. He came in to lead the Lions back into the lead after Joe Reed had a lot of trouble. George Ragsdale gets the ball and turns the corner. Runs out of bounds with 1:47 left to go. Mickemeyer ran him out of bounds. George Ragsdale runs the ball back. We'd like to thank some very fine producers and directors. Our producer, William Barnes. Our director today has been Marvin F. Muse. Associate producer Jay Frommert, Ray Savignano, Bob Brown, John Pumo, all our great CBS technicians in to cover this game for you with 1:46 left to play. And they'll all be back here next Thanksgiving, next Thursday, as the Bears go against the Lions here at the Pontiac Silverdome. 12 noon Eastern time for that Thanksgiving Day game. Another interception. Laslovic has the ball. So the Lions have the ball back at the 33-yard line, and no doubt now they'll run the clock out by running the ball. As you see, 1:33 left to play.
I think that did it. They might have had a shot, had to move the ball down and gotten 7 points, but right here, he throws down, not really watching what's in front of him downfield, and Laslovic steps in front of his receiver, and it's all over.
That officially puts the lid on it with 1:33 left to play. And of course, we remind you that coming up next, the Cowboys and the Steelers are just right now getting set to tee it up at Pittsburgh. Some people after each other in that one. Lions will look to run the ball now. Now they're looking for more points. Danielson throws. Looking for Ray Jarvis. Well, you got a 16-7 lead with 1:26 to play, and what you can in effect do with a play like that is get your quarterback knocked out for the season.
Yes, you could, and get an opposing team a little bit furious with you.
Exactly. You start throwing on a team when they're down and obviously beaten, boy, they're going to start going for that quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
You get kissed by that Leroy Selma when he comes full smoke. And they will be going after Danielson if he throws the ball. We're liable to see a late hit. Danielson runs the ball down to the 25-yard line. Dave Lewis makes the tackle. Now, presuming Detroit goes on and wins this game, which there are seconds from doing now, 68 seconds away from it, we'd have a two-way tie for second between the Bears, who beat Minnesota today, and the Lions, 5-5. And Minnesota, without Fran Tarkenton, could have a problem over the last 4 games of the season.
They meet Green Bay next week, and it could be tough there. I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota loses the next 2.
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh.
Win that division almost by default. Marv Hubbard thunders ahead for a first down, and a penalty marker comes in after the play. 36 seconds left to go. Detroit 16, Tampa Bay 7. After the Buccaneers led at the half 7-0. Down goes Danielson as Counselor Rudolph comes in, cruising by just after the play.
Along with Dave Lewis. Dave, come on out here. Let me try to separate you from the football, but wisely he went down.
That'll bring up 4th down and 17 for Detroit. So we delay the inevitable a bit longer.
Thanksgiving Day game for the Chicago Bears. Game time is 12:30.
The ball is at the 39-yard line of the Buccaneers. You see the clock, 30 seconds left to play.
Detroit looks a little bit happy on the sideline now, but I'm sure throughout this whole ball game they had to be some worried.
Oh, didn't they? The Bears and the Lions coming up Thursday at 12 noon Eastern time. A very, very important game this has developed to be following today's one-loss column in the NFL, with the Bears beating the Vikings at Soldier Field in Chicago 10-7. And now Detroit seconds away from beating Tampa Bay, so the Bears and the Lions would be tied up 5-5 for second place in the division. The punt goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 21st and 10 with 19 seconds left to play. Emerson?
Somebody got to win and somebody got to lose in that Chicago-Detroit showdown on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going to be home watching it. I don't know where you're going to be.
I'll be watching that one, too. That'll be a good one. Detroit with its storied history of famous Thanksgiving Day games. The Packers and the Lions for so many years. It's really amazing a team can be 500 through 10 games of the season and still have a real shot at the playoffs, at winning the division. The Lions have that. So do the Bears. Hedberg takes a look, lets it go long. It's going to be overthrown. 12 seconds left to go in the game as Hedberg shows one thing. He's got a rifle arm. He put that thing about 65 yards in the air. But 12 seconds is all that separates the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from a 24th consecutive defeat in the NFL. They put up a fight, though. They really did, particularly that defense.
They get a break next week. Not really a break because they meet Atlanta, but they'll get a chance to play 3 of their last 4 ball games at home.
Hedberg swings it out. Lewis Carter has the ball across the 30, across the 35, and all the way out to the 37 or 8-yard line, and there is the gun. The final number is in here at Detroit. The Lions winning, coming from behind in the second half to next the Tampa Bay losing streak. The Lions winning 16-7. Don't forget, coming up next are the Cowboys and the Steelers from Pittsburgh. Now for Emerson Boozer, this is Don Crickey. Glad you could be with us. The final score, Detroit 16, Tampa Bay 7. Stay tuned as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.